Lumberjack Basketball. Join us as we bring you the action live from the court with Tim Parrish. We want to take a moment to thank all of our Lumberjack Sports sponsors and hope you'll do the same. Without them, these broadcasts wouldn't be possible. Now for the countdown to tip-off with Tim Parrish, and go Lumberjacks! And welcome, Lumberjack fans. Tim Parrish here at Orofino High School, where we've got a doubleheader of Lumberjack basketball for you as the Lumberjack boys and girls teams playing. JV girls played earlier. They had a half of basketball that they played. They lost their game. I think it was, I forget what the final score was to that one. JV boys currently playing. They've got just under 35 seconds left in the fourth, and their score is 35-30. And then we will have varsity girls action coming your way first, followed by varsity boys. And should be a good afternoon of basketball. Central Idaho League action. A big one for the boys as far as the Central Idaho League standings are concerned. So, again, important games here today for the boys and the girls as well. We're going to have that coming your way here in just a little bit, where now we've got the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union countdown to tip-off coming your way. But first, let's take a quick break, and we'll come back with more after a word from our sponsors.
Nothing comes easy. Every day, every dollar, every decision. So your finances should work just as hard as you do. With a free Ascend checking account from P1FCU, you can earn real rewards for the work you're already doing. No gimmicks, just better banking. Because around here, dividends are for the doers. Learn more at p1fcu.org/ascend.
Kenny and the crew at 10th Street Superstop invite you into the biggest convenience store in town. 10th Street Superstop is your one-stop shop for gas, propane, snacks, and ice-cold drinks. Stop in for breakfast or lunch, breakfast burritos and pizza to paninis and fajita burritos. 10th Street Superstop has something for everyone. Whether you're headed to a Lumberjack game or out into the woods, 10th Street Superstop is the place to stop for anything you may need. 10th Street Superstop on North 10th Street in St. Mary's. When you think of Potlatch Deltic, you might think logs or lumber. When I think about Potlatch Deltic, I think of family, community, compassion. You see, Potlatch Deltic is more than some company in St. Mary's. Potlatch Deltic is a community supporter in more ways than one. Whether it's donating to a fundraiser or nonprofit group, or giving a high schooler a summer job that could very well turn into a career, Potlatch Deltic is there for our community. We, for one, want to thank Potlatch Deltic for what they do and hope that you will also. Potlatch Deltic, proud supporters of, well, St. Mary's.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Idaho. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the IHSAA and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Well, well, well. Are you in need of a reputable, experienced, and knowledgeable well drilling and pump company? Look no further than Interstate Drilling and Pump. Interstate Drilling and Pump drills new wells, deepens existing wells, installs and repairs pumps, and does well testing both for water quality and gallons per minute. Interstate Drilling and Pump has 24-plus years of experience and serves from Moscow to Rathdrum and the Silver Valley. Well, what are you waiting for? Get on their schedule today. That's Interstate Drilling and Pump, 208-245-5101. 208-245-5101, Interstate Drilling and Pump.
Tax time is here again. I know, it's not your favorite. But at H&R Block, tax time is our favorite time of year. It's when our tax pros get to do what they love the most, help people. By getting to know you, they can make sure your return gets done right. It's not just about numbers, boxes, and forms. It's about personal care. So you get every credit and deduction you deserve. And with an average of 10 years experience, our tax pros get your taxes done right. Just one of the many ways Block has your back.
Tim Parrish here at Orofino High School as home of the Maniacs, where St. Mary's is varsity getting ready to take the floor. Varsity girls, that is, and varsity boys will follow. JV game has 1.7 seconds on the clock, and the JV boys for St. Mary's trail 37-30. And that is where that one's going to finish up, 37-30 in favor of the Maniac JV squad. So a couple of losses to get things going here for the Lumberjacks today. It's both JV squads have fallen to the Maniacs. I want to give another quick shout out to one of our sponsors. This is a sponsor for today's broadcast, and that is St. Mary's Son Cycle. They have a grand reopening today at St. Mary's Son Cycle. They are under new management, and it'll be at 4 p.m. today is when they will open. The first 10 people to arrive will receive a free gift. There will be food and snacks and drinks, games and prizes, including a 48-inch KFI plow, and also Supercross action. So you Supercross fans, go down to St. Mary's Son Cycle's grand reopening today. Begins at 4 o'clock. And so be sure to stop by. Also in town today at Two Saints Brewing, they are having live music with New Crisis and Rachel Broadhead. Music will start at 7 p.m. at Two Saints Brewing. Now back to the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union countdown to tip-off as the Lumberjack girls are out on the floor getting warmed up for their game this afternoon. Taking a look at the Central Idaho League standings, and I should take a look at I really should take a look and see who won in Kellogg, because Kellogg and Grangeville is facing off today, and that would change up this standings. But Kellogg currently sits on top of the CIL standings with a 5-0 league record, 10-5 overall. They lost 77-38 to Lakeside in their last game, and they will be hosting. They were hosting Grangeville today. Kellogg girls are 9th in the Idaho Sports ranking, 10th in the Max Preps rankings. The Grangeville girls 4-0 in league play, 10-5 overall. They played at Timberlake last night. I did not find the final score on that one. And they are at Kellogg today, 5th and 6th. 5th in the Idaho Sports rankings, 6th in the Max Preps rankings. The Orofino Maniac girls, 2-1 in league play, 4-9 overall. They lost in Nez Perce 60-33 on the 20th. They will be at Grangeville on the 28th, I believe is what I wrote down. They are 17th in the Idaho Sports rankings and 20th in the Max Preps rankings. The Priest River Spartans 1-5 in league, 6-7 overall. They beat Clarkfort 46-22 on the 19th. They are at Newport on the 30th. They are 14th in the Idaho Sports rankings, 21st in the Max Preps. And St. Mary's 0-6 in league, 0-11 overall. They lost 66-16 to Moscow on the 22nd. They will be at Wallace on the 27th. The Lumberjack girls are 22nd in both Idaho Sports and Max Preps. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more of the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union countdown to tip-off after a word from our sponsors.
Martin Holmes, your Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's, is a proud Lumberjack supporter because they're her hometown team. When it comes to insurance, that's also one reason so many people in St. Mary's choose Farm Bureau Insurance. They have a complete line of insurance products, including auto, home, commercial, and life. Plus, they have great customer service and competitive rates. And they're also a local company with local agents right here in St. Mary's. So let's hear it for our hometown teams. Contact Janelle Martin Holmes, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's at 105 North 8th Street, St. Mary's.
Like most backseat drivers, I'm all about safety. Dad, pothole.
Got it.
So Les Schwab Tires makes my job easy. With services like brakes, steering, and alignment. Those cheap tire centers just throw on tires. That's it. Now, I'm not telling people how to do their job. Linker. I'm just glad Les Schwab takes safety as seriously as me.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab Tires. Doing the right thing since 1952.
It's in Park, right?
Archie's IGA is not only a proud supporter of Lumberjack Sports, but a proud supporter of the St. Mary's community and shopping locally. When you shop local, you help businesses support other local businesses, as well as helping your local businesses to provide jobs. Did you know that local business taxes help maintain communities and counties by fixing roads and maintaining recreational facilities? Local business owners invest in the community and have a vested interest in the future of our community. So won't you help Archie's IGA by supporting your local businesses and shop locally? Oh yeah, and let's not forget those Lumberjacks.
If you want the best, you hire the best. Top Grade Roofing and Construction has over 25 years of experience and is licensed and insured. Top Grade Roofing and Construction can and will build just about anything. Need a deck? They can do it. Need siding? Yep. How about a fence? Of course. I mean, Top Grade Roofing and Construction might even build you a chicken coop if you ask. That's Top Grade Roofing and Construction. Call Vince for a free consultation at 208-269-3111. That's 208-269-3111. Top Grade Roofing and Construction. Hughes Ace Hardware wants to invite you to come in and take a look. Hughes isn't just about hardware. Whether you need dish soap and sponges to clean up after your husband's guys' night or storage solutions for your wife's shopping addiction, you can find it at Hughes. Come see the difference. Everything you need, from a blow dryer to replace the one your toddler dropped in the toilet to a bathroom scale to help your hubby stay on his fitness goal. Hughes Ace Hardware is the place to get the products you need and the help you want all the time, every time. Hugh and Margie Gannon of St. Mary's are proud to support the Lumberjacks and this Lumberjack Sports broadcast. The Gannons want to wish the Lumberjacks the best of luck this sports season and want you to know that they are proud of you. The Gannons say, "Go Lumberjacks!" Tim Parrish here at Lumberjack Gymnasium. We are at Orofino High School as the Lumberjack girls are warming up to take on the Orofino Maniacs in Central Idaho League action. We'll take a quick look at the power rankings. Top 5 for Idaho Sports coaches Paul and Max Krebs. Starting with Idaho Sports, the top 5 in girls basketball for 3A is Malad, Firth, Parma, Ambrose, and Grangeville. In the coaches poll, it's actually really close to what the Idaho Sports rankings are. You've got Malad, Firth, Grangeville, Ryrie, and Ambrose. And Max Preps, once again, it's very close to what the other standings or other rankings are. Malad still sits at top, Firth still at number 2. Then it kind of changes in the bottom with Ambrose, Parma, and Ryrie in 3, 4, and 5. So that's a look at those. We're going to go ahead and take another quick break. We'll be back with more of the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union Countdown to tip-off after this.
You always hear on the radio, cross the bridge to savings. But it's true. St. Mary's Harvest Foods has what you need when you need it. And if you don't see it, then just ask one of the friendly staff and they will gladly help you find what you need. From meat, super fresh produce, and dairy, St. Mary's Harvest Foods will save you big on the things you need the most. No time to cook tonight? Then check out the hot deli for something quick for dinner. St. Mary's Harvest Foods, where you truly can cross the bridge to savings.
Jack Mule Trucking knows that there are few things as important as wise use of our natural resources. And by utilizing the chips in the manufacturing of lumber, that is exactly what is accomplished. If you look beyond the wood chips, you see an entire community of schools, churches, and businesses. And most importantly, people. Jack Mule Trucking believes in responsible harvesting of our natural resources. After all, when you take a close look, those aren't just chips. They're an entire community. Jack Mule Trucking.
Sometimes accidents happen. You never thought it would happen to you, but it did. Where can you turn for that friendly hand of support? Jack's Pharmacy is your good neighbor pharmacy in St. Mary's, where you'll find personalized care. Whether you need crutches, supports, wheelchairs, or even a hospital bed, Jack's is here for you. We service both Medicare and Medicaid. If you need durable medical equipment, come to Jack's, your good neighbor pharmacy, where you'll receive personalized service and attention.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Idaho. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
This is the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union Countdown to tip-off here in Orofino as your Lumberjack girls getting set to do battle with the Orofino Maniacs in a Central Idaho League matchup. And this game for the girls, well, it's not really the difference between, I was trying to see if it would move them up some, and it could possibly. But they need to win a couple of more league games to move up from the bottom spot of the CIL right now. But it is not going to be impossible necessarily. I think the last two games on Lumberjack Girls league schedule is Orofino and then Priest River and St. Mary's. So a couple of league games left. Taking a look at the area around our area in high school sports. First, we'll look at the boys, Lumberjack boys. They are, of course, 3-0 in league play. 10-1 overall. They beat Bonners Ferry 79-48 in their last game. And the next game for the boys will be all the way to next Friday when the Lumberjack boys will travel to take on the Kendrick Tigers, which we do intend on broadcasting. Wrestling, they are at the North-South duels in Clearwater Valley at the Clearwater Valley High School today and tomorrow, or yesterday and today. So we hope they're doing well at their tournament. Lakeside boys, the Knights, they are 4-0 in league play, 11-1 overall. They beat Potlatch 66-30 on the 20th. They hosted Prairie last night. I did not look up that final score. They will be at Wallace, or are at Wallace tonight. The Lakeside girls are 2-0 in league play, 8-10 overall. They beat Kellogg 73-38 in their last game. They are at Wallace. They beat Wallace on the 22nd, 75-53, and they were 65-53, and they will be at or hosting Lapway on the 29th. The Cooney Warriors, their girls are 1-0 in league play, 5-4 overall. They beat Clark Fork 41-39 in overtime on the 21st. Then they went to Mullen, where they beat Mullen by a score of 62-13, and they will be at Wallace on the 26th. The Kootenai boys, 1-0 in league play, 2-7 overall. They beat Mullen by a score of 42-41 on the 22nd. They will be at Core Du Christ Academy, I believe, tonight. And that is a look at around our area in high school sports. We'll take another break, come back with more of the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union Countdown tip-off after this.
Afraid to touch that breaker box? Need some rewiring done? Call the professionals at M&S Electric. With nearly 40 years experience, there's no job too big or too small. From industrial and commercial to residential and service work, M&S Electric isn't afraid. Serving Benoit, Shoshone, Kootenai, and Latah counties, M&S Electric has you covered. Overhead work? M&S can do that too with their bucket truck. M&S Electric, 408 Main Avenue, St. Mary's. Give them a call, 208-245-3890. No job too big, no job too small. We do them all. M&S Electric.
For all your plumbing needs, call Nick's Plumbing and Heating. With Nick's professional staff, you can be assured of guaranteed quality products, installation, service, and repair of all of your plumbing. So if you have plumbing needs or problems, call the good folks at Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Call 245-5460. That's 245-5460. Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Installation, service, and repair when you need it. Nick's Plumbing and Heating, St. Mary's.
For all of your area high school sports schedules, updates, and recaps, including Lakeside, Kootenai, and of course, St. Mary's High School, pick up your copy of the St. Mary's Gazette Record every Wednesday. Not only will they have game recaps and highlights for area high school sports action, but local news and information. St. Mary's Gazette Record, pick up a copy today. The name says it all. Taco About It. What is it, you may ask? It's the best taco truck in town. Might even be the only taco truck in town. If you like tacos, and who doesn't, then you need to stop by Taco About It, located at 128 South Highway 3 in St. Mary's, across the street from Triple X Feeds. Taco About It has too many tacos to list. so you will just have to try them all. Call in your order 208-582-8533 or just stop by. Talk About It, located across the street from Triple X Feeds in St. Mary's. When you need that morning pick-me-up before work or school, there's one place that comes to mind. It's a place that loves our community, the St. Mary's Lumberjacks, and all the local businesses and people in our village. Shift and Grind in St. Mary's is all about the community. Whether it's helping raise money for the Booster Club or for a family in need, the Shift and Grind family are always ready to help. So be sure to stop by Shift and Grind for your caffeinated needs. Located at 132 First Street in St. Mary's, Shift and Grind says, go Lumberjacks. Tim Parrish back here at Orofino High School, 6.5 minutes until opening tip, as the Lumberjack girls get set to take on the Orofino Maniacs in a league tilt. Now let's take a quick look at the Lumberjacks statistics. Lumberjack girls only averaging right around 26 points per game, while they are allowing their opponents 53 points per game. Field goal percentage, St. Mary's at 21%, their opponents at 33%. Three-point shooting not been strong for St. Mary's opponents or for the girls, as the Lumberjack girls only 10% from three-point range, while the Maniacs, or not the Maniacs, their opponents are at 14%. Free throw shooting, again, kind of on the lower end for both sides of the coin. 41% for the Lumberjacks, 49% for their opponents. Rebounding, not too bad. 37 rebounds per game for the girls, 49 rebounds per game for their opponents, or 44 rebounds per game. And 3 assists per game for the girls of St. Mary's, 11 rebounds, 11 assists per game for their opponents. St. Mary's, as girls are averaging 25 turnovers per game. They're giving up about 12 points off of those turnovers. And my stats, of course, are only for 6 out of the 10 that the girls have played so far. Leading in scoring for the girls, the freshman Daisy Williams, she averages about 12 points per game. Next up is Camden Timken, averaging 4 points per game. Bailey Martin, averaging 4 points per game. Demercia Spooner, averaging 3 points per game. 2 points per game for Kelly Keneally and Kaylin Boyette. Kieran Elliott, Braylee Caldwell, both averaging about 1 point per game for the girls. Looking at the Orofino Maniacs, as we don't have time to take a break before we look at some information about them. Of course, we all know they are part of the Central Idaho League, technically in District 2, since the Central Idaho League is Districts 1 and 2 combined. St. Mary's, Priest River, and Kellogg are technically District 1, Grangeville and Orofino District 2. They are coached by Dave Olive, and they are 2-1 in league play, 4-9 overall on the season. They beat the Lumberjacks in November by a score of 41-37 in St. Mary's. They are averaging 35 points per game while giving up 43 points per game. They're leading, or not leading scorer, but against St. Mary's in that first matchup from 2-point range, the Maniacs were 32%. 3-point range, they were 1 of 20 for 5%. Their overall field goal percentage was 24%. Their free throw percentage was 40%, 4 for 10. They had 36 rebounds, 23 turnovers, 16 steals, and 8 assists. Leading scoring was Caitlin Curtis. She had 17 points, and I really can't go off of the rest of these because my roster when we played them in St. Mary's for Orofino was way off as far as numbers are concerned. So I do know that my Caitlin Curtis is correct, but I am not sure about the others. So we will just leave it like that. So it was a really close game up in St. Mary's between these two teams. I expect that to happen again here tonight. Can the Lumberjacks get off of the losing streak and pick up their first win of the season here today? Well, we'll see. Hopefully they can and go home with a win on the season from Orofino. We're going to take another break. We'll come back with starting lineups here in a bit.
If you know which side of a saw cuts wood, and if you can hammer a nail, you can do it yourself. Carpentry, construction, finishing, or framing, around here, you've got it made. You've got 10th Street Lumber. At 10th Street Lumber, we have the answers to your building and repair project questions. Every day, 10th Street Lumber helps homeowners get quality results. For lumber, block, power tools, fixtures, everything you need for a professional job. Don't pick up a nail until you shop 10th Street Lumber. 10th Street Lumber on the corner of 10th and Railroad Avenue in St. Mary's.
Wondering how to manage your retirement nest egg? How big should it be when you retire? Contact Jenny Oaks at Gateway Financial Partners to get the answers to these and all your other financial questions. The securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC. With over 30 years of financial planning, give Jenny Oaks a call at Gateway Financial Partners today. The guidance is free. The experience is priceless. Call 245-5255. Fall is coming, and of course, cold weather. Now's the time to stock up on a few things. XXX Feeds has magnetic wood pellets in stock, and it's never too early to be ready for the cold weather. XXX Feeds also has alfalfa in stock as well as straw. And if you have some four-legged woodland friends that look a little hungry, XXX Feeds can keep you loaded up on deer feed and deer blocks. Don't wait until the last minute. Stop by XXX Feeds in St. Mary's today.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
What makes high school sports here in Idaho so special? They do. You do.
We all do.
This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
St. Joe Oil isn't just a fuel delivery company. They provide a much larger service than most people realize. St. Joe Oil can sell you a brand new Toyo oil stove and install it for you, and also keep your oil tank full. Not only that, St. Joe Oil plays a very critical role in our local industries. From logging to farming, St. Joe Oil keeps the fuel tanks full. From heating oil to off-road diesel and everything in between, call St. Joe Oil, 208-245-2123. That's 208-245-2123. St. Joe Oil.
St. Mary's Realty is a St. Mary's icon. Why? Because they are a team. They work for you. And they've been a team for many years. Whether you are buying your first home, looking for a recreational cabin, or selling your current home, St. Mary's Realty puts their team on it for you. So stop in or give them a call today at 245-4502 and let their team be your team. That's St. Mary's Realty at 726 Main Avenue, St. Mary's.
Riverbend Car Wash and Laundromat, located next to Harvest Foods in St. Mary's. Open 24 hours, we have washers and dryers of all sizes to get your laundry done quickly. If you'd like to get your laundry done in less than 5 minutes, take advantage of our drop-off laundry service where we wash, dry, and fold it for you. While you do your laundry, be sure to take advantage of our touchless automatic car wash, which has that great undercarriage spray to get the grime off. Riverbend Car Wash and Laundromat can be found at riverbendbubbles.com or call 208-582-4844.
Whistle Stop Coffee and More has come a long way from the little shop on Railroad Avenue. How far? Not only did they upgrade their Railroad Avenue location, they added a second location. That second location for Whistle Stop Coffee and More is on 313 St. Joe River Road. Both locations offer tasty drinks of coffee, Red Bull, or Lotus Energy, and food options, from acai bowls to cookies and delicious bagel sandwiches. Whistle Stop Coffee and More is the perfect stop for a quick bite and a drink on your way to work or school. Whistle Stop Coffee and More in St. Mary's. Does your furry friend need a bath? Don't want to deal with the hassle and the mess from bathing your furry friend? Make an appointment with Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop today. Barks and Bubbles, located at 402 North 10th Street in St. Mary's, will have your furry friend looking and feeling like $1,000,000 in no time. And guess what? No mess at home, no scratches, and no getting soaked from head to toe. Let Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop handle the work. Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop also offers pet boarding. Call for an appointment today at 208-245-5755. That's 208-245-5755. Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop in St. Mary's. There's a new shop on Main Street in St. Mary's. It's a gift shop. It's a home decor shop. It's a jewelry shop. It's a shop of bare necessities. Bare Necessities Trading Company is located at 822 Main Avenue in St. Mary's and has just about anything you could think of. From rocks and minerals to specialty foods, knives, and handcrafted soaps and lotions, there really is too much to list. So stop by at Bare Necessities Trading Company today and pick up a gift, something new for your house, or a cup of coffee. That's Bare Necessities Trading Company, located at 822 Main Avenue in St. Mary's.
Okay, we are back, and now we'll get to the starting lineups for your Lumberjacks. Look at the number 1 of Camden Timken, the number 5 of Karen Elliott, the number 10 of Bailey Martin, the number 11 of Braylee Caldwell, and the freshman number 22, Daisy Williams. And now the starting lineup for the Maniacs. We'll get you those. They turn off the lights. You got some spotlighting going on.
Starting for the Maniacs,
the first starter for the Maniacs is number 22 of Caitlin Curtis. Then you got the number 3 of Sierra Tondevold. You got the number 13 of Ella Bearden. The number 5 of Sadie Olive. And the number 2 of Alina Paul. Those are the starters for the Maniacs. The Maniacs in their home, white with blue numbers. Lumberjacks in green with white numbers. Lumberjacks will be going left to right on your radio dial. It'll be the number 22 of Daisy Williams going to go against the number 22 of Caitlin Curtis. And Caitlin Curtis looks to be about 6'3". Tall girl out there in the midcourt circle for the Orofino Maniacs. And we are underway. The tip is up. It'll be controlled by Orofino. It's into the hands of Paul. Paul down to the right corner, looking into the post. That ball's going to be tipped out. St. Mary's with a steal early on. That'll be Daisy Williams and a turnover by Orofino. Then St. Mary's is going to get caught with a turnover themselves. Timken goes to the ground. She gets called for a travel. So the ball will stay with the Maniacs now. They'll inbound from the far sideline. Triggering it in to Paul. Paul looking to the free throw line extended to Olive. Back out to the corner now to Tondevold, right side. Top of the key. And now to the right wing still. Cross court pass to the left corner. Back to the left wing. Shifting up to the right side of the floor now. Driving from the right is Tondevold. Kicks it back up to Paul. 14 on the shot clock. Still plenty of time. Olive back to the right wing or right corner. Cross court to the left side. 3-point shot on the way. It is off the mark. Rebound is tipped all the way out. Coming up with it is Timken for the Lumberjacks. Timken works her way to the right side. Now back to the left. Now to the right. Gets around the screen. Skips it inside to Martin underneath. Martin gets the pass out. And Williams couldn't get a hold of it. Turnover St. Mary's. No score early first quarter here in Orofino. Lumberjack girls and the Maniacs in a Central Idaho League matchup. Into the hands of Curtis. Curtis picks up her dribble right wing down to the left side, just inside 3-point range. Shot on the way. It is no good. That's going to go out of bounds. Last touch by Orofino. St. Mary's will get the team rebound. 6:46 to go first period. Still no score. Lumberjacks facing a little bit of pressure in the backcourt from Orofino. That pass goes right through the legs of Williams. He's able to track it down on the right side, but has to try to save it back in. Turnover to Orofino. Now we're going to get a jump ball as Timken ties it up, and the possession arrow will favor the Lumberjacks. Rough start for both teams, little sloppy. And Olive will trigger it in for, or not Olive, for St. Mary's. It is Elliott from baseline. Again, backcourt pressure from the Maniac girls. Going to get it to Timken. Timken trying to get away from coverage. Picks up her dribble, gets the ball ahead to Elliott. Left side. Going to have that pass down to Martin. Now back to Elliott. Heavy pressure from the Maniacs. Shot is high. No good by Caldwell. Short corner jumper. That ball goes up and over the backboard. It'll be a team rebound to the Maniacs. Orofino going to bring it the other way. Slowly bring it down the court is Paul for Orofino. She's going to work across the timeline. Still straight up top between the circles. Swings it to the right wing to Bearden. Bearden, three-pointer on the way, and the Orofino Maniacs will strike first with a big three from the right wing. St. Mary's bringing it the other way. Elliott picked up her dribble, finds Timken. Now they're going to get it out to Caldwell. Caldwell can't get an open shot. Back to Caldwell in the corner, right side. Going to have that ball dribbled off of her foot. And the turnover will go against the Lumberjacks. 5:48 to go in the first. 3-0 Maniacs with the lead. Paul controls it again for Orofino. Bright pink shoes on her. Going to get it to the top of the free throw line. Back out to the right wing. Going to get a three-pointer on the way from Paul. That shot won't go. Rebound is fought for. And it's going to go out of bounds off of Orofino. Now, remember what I said in the pregame. Orofino went I think it went over to the Maniacs. Orofino went 1 for 20 from three-point range when they played in St. Mary's. Another three on the way from Bearden. It is no good. It'll go out of bounds off of Orofino. Rebound to the Maniacs, or to the Lumberjacks. 5:26 to go. Still 3-0. Again, the Maniacs with a full court pressure in the backcourt. Going to get it to Elliott. Elliott going to make a move and get called for the travel. And the Lumberjacks give the ball back to Orofino. Orofino will inbound from sideline in front of the Lumberjack bench. Stacked up are the Maniacs into Paul. She takes it to the middle of the court, now to the right side. Cross court to the left corner. Back to the top of the key. Tondevold runs into Timken. Shot on the way from the corner by Bearden, and she knocks down another three as Orofino takes a 6-0 lead. Again, good pressure from the Maniacs. Bad if you're the Lumberjacks, good if you're Orofino. A shot from underneath by Olive will get stuck in the rim. And the Lumberjacks will get called for a foul right there. J.J. Yearout comes out and saves the day, pokes the ball out from being stuck up there in the rim. It'll be a shooting foul against the Lumberjacks, trying to see a number. And that foul goes against Elliott. First team foul for St. Mary's. And a 30-second timeout taken by the Lumberjacks as Holdall wants to talk to her girls. 4:57 to go in the first period of play. And the Maniacs lead. Again, we want to remind you of the grand reopening event at St. Mary's Saw Cycle today. They are under new management, and it'll begin at 4 p.m. They say the first 10 people to arrive will receive a free gift. There'll be food, snacks, and drinks, games, and prizes, including a 48-inch KFI plow, and, of course, Supercross. Go on down and watch the Supercross races tonight at St. Mary's Saw Cycle. St. Mary's breaking their huddle. And coming out to shoot the free throws is the number 5 of Olive. First time to the charity stripe for the Maniacs. First free throw from Olive on the way. That one is no good. Just under 5 to play in the first. 6-0 Orofino. Next free throw is up. That one is knocked home. And St. Mary's will bring it down. Orofino again using that pressure. Bringing it across as Timken quickly to the right side. Picks up her dribble. She's going to get called for I don't know about that call. She picked up her dribble. She never put the ball back down. So they're going to say she got called for a carry or a double dribble. I didn't see it, but then again, I'm not down there on the floor. So a turnover for St. Mary's. Waters has it, swings it to the top of the key, around to Bearden. Now back to the left side. Driving is Paul. Shot is up, no good. Rebound to Orofino. Another three-pointer on the way from the Maniacs. That one misses. That ball will be saved in by Orofino. Another offensive rebound and a three-pointer from the corner. I believe that was Paul on the left side. And Orofino shooting a lot better from outside here tonight than they did in St. Mary's. It is 10-0 in favor of the Maniacs. There's a foul against Orofino. That foul goes against Olive. Teams first. Tondevold checks in for the Maniacs. Coming out is Paul. Getting ready to come in for St. Mary's is Keneally and Demercia Spooner. St. Mary's will have the ball in the backcourt. Bring it across to Timken. She's going to skip it to Elliott. Back to Timken. Timken between the circles. She's looking at at the defense of the Maniacs. They're in a zone. Back out to Williams. Three-pointer on the way. It won't go. Offensive board to Elliott. Her shot won't go on the putback. Orofino with the rebound. Coming the other way is Tondevold. She's left wing. Swings it to the corner. That's to Olive. Now back to the top of the key. Tondevold kicks it back out. Deep three from Bearden. That shot is no good. Curtis goes up for the rebound. Her putback is no good. I think the ball goes out of bounds off of St. Mary's. And Lumberjacks make some subs as Bailey Martin and Braylee Caldwell come out. Kelly Keneally checks in, as does Spooner. Shot up by the Maniacs. It's no good. Rebound goes to Keneally. And then coming across, we're going to get a travel in the backcourt by Elliott. And Lumberjacks are discombobulated in this first quarter. 10-0, they trail to the Maniacs. I think that's about 5 turnovers for St. Mary's here in the first period. Tondevold has it. Swings it over to the one of Waters. Cross court to Bearden. Bearden back to the top of the key. Three-pointer on the way by Tondevold. Back of the glass, no good. Rebound to the Maniacs. The putback was no good. Another putback is up, and I think that was Curtis who made that bucket. And we get a foul in the middle of the floor as St. Mary's is trying to get the ball into the front court. That foul goes against Tondevold. Second foul on the Maniacs. Kieran Elliott checks out. Coming in for, Timken comes out. Boyette checks in. I am missing, number 5. Elliott's back on the floor for the Lumberjacks. St. Mary's into Williams. Williams sitting on the ball, trying to keep that away. And Orofino is going to get the steal. And a timeout taken by the Maniacs to save possession after the steal. So St. Mary's trails 12-10 or 12-0 to Orofino. Tough start to this game for the Lumberjack girls. Not sure how many turnovers they had in the first quarter so far. Yeah, Lumberjack girls have suffered 9 turnovers. They've only given up 3 points off of those turnovers, so that's the turnovers haven't affected the score greatly, except for taking possessions away from the Lumberjack girls. 2:58 to go in the first period. 12-0. St. Mary's yet to score. They need to find the bottom of that net soon. Orofino inbound from side court in front of the Lumberjack, from baseline. She's going to get it into Paul. Paul triggers the quick 3 off the glass, and good by Paul. That was a nice shot by her. That is her second 3. And a foul going the other way against the Maniacs. Second foul on Orofino. I think that is player number 3, Tondevold, and that's our second foul. It says 5 on the scoreboard, but we know that ain't right. St. Mary's has it. That is Elliott. Elliott, jump shot. Oh, it's in and out. Rebound goes to Boyette, and I think St. Mary's turned it over. I think the Maniacs got a steal there. Lumberjacks had that shot want to fall in for him, but it didn't. Bad pass for the Maniacs. They'll turn it over. They're looking for the number 11 of Miser in the left corner. Just overthrew her. And now officials were checking on some with the scoreboard. I think they might have been asking about the foul as well. It's not 5 fouls. Or no, they're running some, I think they didn't start the clock, so they're running some time off the clock. So they stopped the clock at 2:23 to go in the first.
It's been a 15-0 run for the Maniacs to get things started. St. Mary's into Keneally. Keneally was fouled. Oh, that foul goes against number 23. So I got the last one wrong. It was not Tondeville. It was number 5, Olive, for her second. DeMercia Spooner is going to try to put up a shot. The shot is blocked. St. Mary's gets a rebound. No, I didn't see who pulled down that board. Back into DeMercia. And what do we got here? They're going to call that a jump ball. And the possession will go over to Orofino. Maniacs playing some pretty good defense right now against St. Mary's. Lumberjack girls a little bit out of sorts. Lumberjacks into a zone defense. Orofino has the ball. Waters looking to a cutting Paul. Paul shot up, no good. Got her own rebound. Put back was no good. Another rebound for the Maniacs. And then this one gets tied up underneath for a jump ball. And that possession will now go over to St. Mary's. 15-0 Orofino leads. 1:48 to go, first period. Again, backcourt pressure from the Maniacs. Boyette going to have a bad pass, looking for Daisy Williams in the middle. And it's going to be ahead to Paul as she has the easy layup in transition the other way. 17-0 for the Maniacs. Going to get it down to Keneally. Keneally right side all the way to the corner, working against the one of Waters. Keneally's going to get called for the foul as she put a little bit of a forearm there into the defender, which was Waters. St. Mary's out of sorts here in the first period. 1:27 to go. 17-0 Maniacs up. Paul brings it across for Orofino. Is going to flip it into the middle. Shot is up and good. That is Machaffey with the shot for Orofino. An assist for the Maniacs. Again, that backcourt pressure giving St. Mary's fits. They're not being able to break the press the easiest. Up to Williams, now to Spooner. Spooner around the defense. Shot is no good. She'll be fouled. And that'll send the Lumberjacks to the free throw line for the first time. And that foul goes against the number 14. Nope, the number 22. That is Curtis. That's her first. 15 foul on the Maniacs. Spooner, 20% from the free throw line on the season. She makes the first one, though. Lumberjacks making some subs. Boyette comes out. I believe Williams comes out as well. Bailey Martin is back in. Timken is back in. Second free throw on the way by Spooner. That one's off the mark. Going to get a lane violation on Orofino. So Spooner will get a second try at the free throw. 19-1, St. Mary's trails Orofino. Second free throw on the way. That one rattles around, won't fall in. Rebound goes to the Maniacs. Maniacs bring it the other way. Going to get a deflected ball by Timken. Good job on her part. And then Orofino ends up with another and back as the ball ends up in the backcourt. So Timken with some pretty good defense. I'm going to give her a forced turnover there. Under a minute to go in the first period. 19-1, St. Mary's trails the Maniacs. Into Timken. Timken into the lane, steps through. Shot's a little bit too hard off the glass. It won't go in. Rebound tipped around, and it's going to go out of bounds, but it'll stay with the Lumberjacks as the Maniacs last to touch it. 42 seconds on the clock. Again, 19-1, St. Mary's trails. Elliott trying to find somebody to get it into. Going to go up to Timken. Timken skips it to Spooner. Spooner from the high post. Shot won't go for her. Too high off the glass. Rebound to the Maniacs. Waters brings it down for Orofino. Kind of shaded to that right side of the floor. Now she works her way to the wing. Then a cross-court pass to the left side now to Waters. Waters looks to the short corner, gets stood up, backs it back out to Paul. Paul to the free throw line, gets her pocket picked by Timken. Is it going to be a steal or not? It's going to be a jump ball is what I'm going to call it. It's a forced jump. Also a deflection by Timken.
And she's hustling out there for St. Mary's. Checking out for the Maniacs is McShaffey. I believe Curtis was who just checked back in. Orofino inbounds it, 16 on the clock. Paul has it, top of the key, picks up her dribble, swings it to the left, three-pointer on the way, off the glass and good for the Maniacs. That was Waters with the three. St. Mary's quickly the other way. Spooner's going to lose her footing. Goes to the floor and comes up a little gingerly as the clock runs out on the first period. We'll take a break. 22-1, St. Mary's trails.
Nothing comes easy. Every day, every dollar, every decision. So your finances should work just as hard as you do. With a free Ascend checking account from P1FCU, you can earn real rewards for the work you're already doing. No gimmicks, just better banking. Because around here, dividends are for the doers. Learn more at p1fcu.org/ascend.
Kenny and the crew at 10th Street Superstop invite you into the biggest convenience store in town. 10th Street Superstop is your one-stop shop for gas, propane, snacks, and ice-cold drinks. Stop in for breakfast or lunch, breakfast burritos and pizza to paninis and fajita burritos. 10th Street Superstop has something for everyone. Whether you're headed to a Lumberjack game or out into the woods, 10th Street Superstop is the place to stop for anything you may need. 10th Street Superstop on North 10th Street in St. Mary's.
And we are back. Rough first quarter for the Lumberjack girls as they get outscored 19-1. And Demercia Spooner goes down with coming up a little gimpy after a play down here at the end. Hopefully she's okay. I don't know if there's any swell. Spooner is out, obviously. St. Mary's has the ball. That ball gets tipped out of Williams' hand. Try to see who's in for the Lumberjacks. Driving underneath is Bailey. Almost a bad pass by Bailey. Keneally misses a shot. Rebound to Orofino. The Maniacs take it the other way. Got to figure out who was back on the floor. Oh, for St. Mary's is Daisy Williams. Orofino has it. Working on that right wing. Now to the top of the key to Paul. Paul into the lane to Curtis. Curtis's shot is up. Won't go. Rebound tipped around. St. Mary's comes away with it. And that was Martin with the rebound. Daisy Williams going to take it herself from one end to the other, and Daisy will lay it up and in for the Lumberjacks. Daisy's first bucket. She scored 16 against Orofino the first time these two teams met. Paul has it. She works it to the right side, down to Curtis. Curtis three-pointer. That shot is off the mark. Rebound to Keneally. She gets it to Martin. Martin gets a screen, brings it up to the right side of the floor. Martin flips it to Keneally. Keneally underneath. Little floater shot, a little bit too hard on the attempt. Rebound to the Maniacs. She drove baseline, couldn't get it to fall in. 22-3, St. Mary's trails. Tondevold has it, swings it over to Olive. Olive to the corner to Bearden. Bearden's three is in and out. That ball is tipped around. Chasing that one down is Martin. And she's going to get it out to Timken. Timken quickly up the floor. Swings it down to Williams. Williams, short corner jumper. It's up and good. 22-5, St. Mary's trails. Lumberjacks putting a little bit of a run on. They need to make it a longer run, though. Still trail by quite a bit. It's Olive, left wing, back to the top to Paul. Shaded more to the right side. That ball is going to be deflected by Caldwell. Nice defensive play by Caldwell to get her hand on that. Coming out for the Maniacs is Paul. Coming in is Waters. St. Mary's on defense, looking to be in their zone. Tondevold up top for the Maniacs. She's going to swing it to the left side to Bearden. Bearden cross court to the right wing to Tondevold. Tondevold tries to drive, gets stood up. Ball gets knocked out. Good defense by St. Mary's. Three-point shot on the way. It is off the mark. All the Lumberjacks ended up on the floor just about trying to box out for the rebound. Orofino ends up with it. And then we get a turnover on the shot clock violation for the Maniacs. So St. Mary's forces a turnover. Going to get a 30-second timeout from Orofino with 5:37 to go in the half. 22-5, St. Mary's trails. We'll be back.
When you think of PotlatchDeltic, you might think logs or lumber. When I think about PotlatchDeltic, I think of family, community, compassion. You see, PotlatchDeltic is more than some company in St. Mary's. PotlatchDeltic is a community supporter in more ways than one. Whether it's a fundraiser or nonprofit group, or given a high school or a summer job that could very well turn into a career, PotlatchDeltic is there for our community. We, for one, want to thank PotlatchDeltic for what they do and hope that you will also. PotlatchDeltic, proud supporters of, well, St. Mary's.
And we're back after the timeout. St. Mary's with the ball. Martin looking for somebody to get the ball into. She gets it to Keneally. Keneally has that ball deflected and stolen away by the Maniacs. Trying to get that pass down to the corner right side. Step in front of it was Tondevold. Tondevold to Bearden. Bearden right side. Thought about a deep three. Decides against it. Works to the left side instead to Waters. Back to the top. Tondevold drives right side of the blocks. All the way baseline. Kicks the ball back out. Shot on the way by Bearden. Three is in and out. Curtis with the rebound. Her putback is going to go in. And I think we just had a steal by St. Mary's and another bucket. I didn't see who made that one. Nope, we didn't. Oh, yeah, 26. I got the score right. So we've got, I just credited that one to Curtis. We get a foul the other way against Orofino. That one goes against Sadie Olive, her third foul. Sadie will come out. Checking in as Paul. 4:55 to go first half. 26-5, St. Mary's trails. Lumberjacks looking for somebody to get it into. They do get it to Williams. Or no, Timken. Timken's shot won't fall. Rebound to the Maniacs. Under 5 to play. Paul brings it across for the Maniacs. Left side down to the corner. Waters back to the top to Paul from the free throw line. Shot is up and good by Paul. Assist for the Maniacs, 28-5. St. Mary's trails. Quickly down the floor is Martin. Cross into the middle to Williams. Then to Caldwell. Her shot won't go in. Short corner, left side. Rebound to the Maniacs. 28-5, St. Mary's trails. Lumberjacks back up in their defense. Bringing it across slowly is Orofino. Waters has it. Top of the key to Paul. Paul looking into the low post to Tondevold. She works it back out towards the wing. Now cross court, Bearden from the right wing for three. Shot won't go. Curtis for the rebound. Curtis's putback, I believe, is good, and a foul against St. Mary's. Foul goes against Williams for the Lumberjacks, and it puts Curtis to the charity stripe. First time to the free throw line for Curtis. Rattles the first one in. Doesn't look like they actually, well, they had to have counted the bucket. Timken and Keneally come out. Elliott and Boyette check in. Second free throw is up and good for the Maniacs. Guess they're not, they had to have counted the bucket. 3-point shot on the way by Martin. Shot is no good. Put back by Williams was no good. Rebound to Orofino. Orofino has it. Shot up. No good. Foul. I'm guessing they didn't count the bucket on that. Maybe she didn't make it. It just looked like they did. There's going to be a foul against Bailey Martin on the shot. That'll send the 11 of Miser to the charity stripe for Orofino. 30-5, St. Mary's trails. First free throw for Miser on the way. That one rattles around, falls off, no good. Second free throw on the way, off the glass. That one's going to rattle around and falls in. 31-5. St. Mary's trails with 3:27 to go in the half. Daisy Williams to Martin. Martin trying to skip it across, skips it into the hands of the Maniac. Turnover St. Mary's. Bringing it back down is Paul. Paul to the top of the key. She's going to work to the right side. Gives it to Bearden, right wing. Bearden looking for that cross-court pass over to Waters. Now she hands it off to Paul. Paul still working on the left side. Back to the top to Waters. Back to Bearden. Bearden on the right. Now down to the corner. Looking into the post now as Miser gets left alone. Her shot is up. It's no good, but she'll be fouled. Bailey Martin picks up her second. Team's third. Puts Miser back to the charity stripe for Orofino. First free throw from Miser on the way. That one is no good. Lumberjacks making some substitutions. Timken checks in, as did Keneally. Second free throw from Miser. On the way. That one is no good. Rebound to Orofino. The putback is up and good by Bearden. (33-5). St. Mary's trails, bringing it down for the Lumberjacks. It was, I believe, Elliott who loses the handle. Turnover on St. Mary's. That one dribbled off a foot into the traffic. 3-point on the way by Bearden. In and out. Rebound fought for. And we're going to get was it a foul or? No, the ball was out of bounds off of Orofino. Lumberjacks will get a team rebound there. Bringing it down is Timken. Timken works it across the timeline, works right side, almost traveled. Going to skip it into the enemy territory. Going to give a turnover to St. Mary's, a steal by the Maniacs. Little jump shot from the low post by Miser is up and good. St. Mary's has it. Up to the top of the key. Keneally leaves that shot short. Rebound to Orofino. Curtis checks in, as does Daniels for the Maniacs. First time for Daniels to come on the floor. St. Mary's trails by 30. Bringing it down slowly for Orofino is the three of Tondevold. She's going to skip it ahead to Miser. Miser at the free throw line. Back out to Tondevold. Tondevold drives right side. Little floater. Nice looking shot. Short corner won't go. Rebound taken down by Boyette. And we're going to get a whistle and a foul the other way. That foul goes against the Maniacs. And that one goes against Tondevold. Not sure if that's her second or her third. That is her second. Tondevold comes out of the contest. Checking back in is McChaffey. Lumberjacks with it. Timken swings over to Elliott. Elliott gets the ball knocked loose. Trips, I think, while trying to get back to the ball and ends up traveling. Orofino going to make a sub. Paul comes in. Miser checks out. Orofino will bring it down. 1:44 to go in the first half. Top of the key. Into the hands of Paul. Paul out to Daniels. Now to the free throw line to McChaffey. Shot is no good. Rebound goes to Williams. Lumberjacks have that ball poked away as they come down the floor. We'll get a deflection by Orofino. St. Mary's will inbound from baseline. 1:14 to go in the half. 35-5 St. Mary's trails. Girls all stacked up. Inbound pass coming. Into the corner. Shot on the way. Three-pointer by Timken. Nothing but net. And I don't know who inbounded that for St. Mary's. It was an assist. Not sure if that was Williams or one of the other girls. Shot on the way, three-pointer from the Maniacs. No good. Rebound to Curtis. Her putback is no good. Rebound to St. Mary's. Lumberjacks go the other way. Down underneath to Williams. Williams will be fouled as she goes up for the shot. That foul goes against Comer. Puts Williams to the charity stripe. Williams 53% from the free throw line, misses the first one. Second free throw on the way, and that one looks good. It is nothing but net. 35-9, St. Mary's trails with 46 seconds to go in the first half of play. A lot different game than when these two teams faced off in St. Mary's. There's a 4-point difference. Maniacs with a big lead right now. The Maniacs, they'll turn it over there as dribbling it off of her foot was Paul. And the Lumberjacks will get a chance here at the end of the half to make it. I've got 9 on that. That was a long 2, I guess. Just shot up by St. Mary's. Lumberjacks. Who made that? I just deleted it. Oh, it was a 3. It was Timken. 35-8, St. Mary's trails. Had to get my stats correct. Curtis in the corner, left side. Takes a step to the left. Shot is off the glass, no good. Rebound the Maniacs, though. And we get a whistle and I believe a foul against St. Mary's, and that foul goes against Timken. With 0.4 of a second on the shot clock, sending Paul to the free throw line for the first time. First free throw's up and good by Paul. Second free throw on the way. That one is no good. Offensive rebound for the Maniacs. Their putback was no good. And that's how the first half will come to an end. Tough one for the Lumberjack girls. 36-8, they trail. We'll take a break as we tally up the first half stats, and we'll be back after this.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Idaho. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the IHSAA and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Well, well, well. Are you in need of a reputable, experienced, and knowledgeable well drilling and pump company? Look no further than Interstate Drilling and Pump. Interstate Drilling and Pump drills new wells, deepens existing wells, installs and repairs pumps, and does well testing both for water quality and gallons per minute. Interstate Drilling and Pump has 24-plus years of experience and serves from Moscow to Rathdrum and the Silver Valley. Well, what are you waiting for? Get on their schedule today. That's Interstate Drilling and Pump, 208-245-5101. 208-245-5101, Interstate Drilling and Pump.
Tax time is here again. I know. It's not your favorite. But at H&R Block, tax time is our favorite time of year. It's when our tax pros get to do what they love the most, help people. By getting to know you, they can make sure your return gets done right. It's not just about numbers, boxes, and forms. It's about personal care. So you get every credit and deduction you deserve. And with an average of 10 years experience, our tax pros get your taxes done right. Just one of the many ways Block has your back.
Janelle Martin Holmes, your Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's, is a proud Lumberjack supporter because they're her hometown team. When it comes to insurance, that's also one reason so many people in St. Mary's choose Farm Bureau Insurance. They have a complete line of insurance products, including auto, home, commercial, and life. Plus, they have great customer service and competitive rates. And they're also a local company with local agents right here in St. Mary's. So let's hear it for our hometown teams. Contact Janelle Martin Holmes, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's at 105 North 8th Street, St. Mary's.
Like most backseat drivers, I'm all about safety. Dad, pothole.
Got it.
So Les Schwab Tires makes my job easy. With surfaces like brakes, steering, and alignment. Those cheap tire centers just throw on tires, and that's it. Now, I'm not telling people how to do their job. Linker. I'm just glad Les Schwab takes safety as seriously as me.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab Tires. Doing the right thing since 1952.
It's in Park, right?
Archie's IGA is not only a proud supporter of Lumberjack Sports, but a proud supporter of the St. Mary's community and shopping locally. When you shop local, you help businesses support other local businesses, as well as helping your local businesses to provide jobs. Did you know that local business taxes help maintain communities and counties by fixing roads and maintaining recreational facilities? Local business owners invest in the community and have a vested interest in the future of our community. So won't you help Archie's IGA by supporting your local businesses and shop locally? Oh yeah, and let's not forget those Lumberjacks.
If you want the best, you hire the best. Top Grade Roofing and Construction has over 25 years of experience and is licensed and insured. Top Grade Roofing and Construction can and will build just about anything. Need a deck? They can do it. Need siding? Yep. How about a fence? Of course. I mean, Top Grade Roofing and Construction might even build you a chicken coop if you ask. That's Top Grade Roofing and Construction. Call Vince for a free consultation at 208-269-3111. That's 208-269-3111. Top Grade Roofing and Construction. Hughes Ace Hardware wants to invite you to come in and take a look. Hughes isn't just about hardware. Whether you need dish soap and sponges to clean up after your husband's guys' night or storage solutions for your wife's shopping addiction, you can find it at Hughes. Come see the difference. Everything you need, from a blow dryer to replace the one your toddler dropped in the toilet, to a bathroom scale to help your hubby stay on his fitness goal. Hughes Ace Hardware is the place to get the products you need and the help you want all the time, every time. Hugh and Margie Gannon of St. Mary's are proud to support the Lumberjacks and this Lumberjack Sports broadcast. The Gannons want to wish the Lumberjacks the best of luck this sports season and want you to know that they are proud of you. The Gannons say, "Go Lumberjacks!" Tim Parrish here at at Orofino Gymnasium here at Orofino High School. Lumberjack girls, a tough first quarter. First half, they trail 34-8 according to the scoreboard. And taking a look at some stats. Well, first, we want to remind you one more time of Two Saints Brewing event going on today. They're going to have live music over at Two Saints Brewing with New Crisis coming into town. And they have special guest Rachel Broodhead. All ages are welcomed, of course. Music will start at 7 p.m. Two Saints Brewing right across from Harvest Foods in St. Mary's. Now let's take a quick look at the stats. First half of action, tough one for the Lumberjack girls. They shot just 14% from two-point range, 33% from three-point range, 18% overall from the field, 50% from the charity stripe. The Lumberjack girls had 16 rebounds, committed 6 fouls, 18 turnovers. Lumberjacks scored 3 points off of Kellogg turnovers, 1 point off the bench for the Lumberjack girls. For Orofino, they shot 38% from two-point range, 28% from three-point range, 33% from the field. They also shot 50% from the charity stripe. They had 27 rebounds, 8 fouls. They committed just 5 turnovers. They had 12 points off of St. Mary's turnovers and 8 points off the bench. Individually for the Maniacs, Bearden with 8 points, Curtis with 8 points, 11 points for Paul, 3 points off the bench for Waters, 3 points off the bench for Miser, 2 points off the bench for McChaffey, and 1 point for Sadie Olive. For the Lumberjack girls, they had a little bit of scoring, 5 points for Williams, 3 points for Timken, and 1 point for Spooner. And that more or less wraps up their scoring. Williams, those are all team rebounds. So total rebounds, Williams with 2. We got 4 Lumberjacks with 2 rebounds apiece. That's Martin, Keneally, Boyette, and Williams.
St. Mary's assist-wise would have 2 assists. One, I couldn't figure out who it was, and the other one was from Timken. Steals, Williams with 1 steal. And that just about wraps up the statistics. So Lumberjack girls are going to have a big second half if they want to battle back in this one. But we'll take a break, come back with the second half after this.
You always hear on the radio, cross the bridge to savings. But it's true. St. Mary's Harvest Foods has what you need when you need it. And if you don't see it, then just ask one of the friendly staff, and they will gladly help you find what you need. From meat, super fresh produce, and dairy, St. Mary's Harvest Foods will save you big on the things you need the most. No time to cook tonight? Then check out the hot deli for something quick for dinner. St. Mary's Harvest Foods, where you truly can cross the bridge to savings.
Jack Fuel Trucking knows that there are few things as important as wise use of our natural resources. And by utilizing the chips in the manufacturing of lumber, that is exactly what is accomplished. If you look beyond the wood chips, you see an entire community of schools, churches, and businesses. And most importantly, people. Jack Fuel Trucking believes in responsible harvesting of our natural resources. After all, when you take a close look, those aren't just chips. They're an entire community. Jack Fuel Trucking.
Sometimes accidents happen. You never thought it would happen to you, but it did. Where can you turn for that friendly hand of support? Jack's Pharmacy is your good neighbor pharmacy in St. Mary's, where you'll find personalized care. Whether you need crutches, supports, wheelchairs, or even a hospital bed, Jack's is here for you. We service both Medicare and Medicaid. If you need durable medical equipment, come to Jack's, your good neighbor pharmacy, where you'll receive personalized service and attention.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Idaho. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Afraid to touch that breaker box? Need some rewiring done? Call the professionals at M&S Electric. With nearly 40 years experience, there's no job too big or too small. From industrial and commercial to residential and service work, M&S Electric isn't afraid. Serving Benoit, Shoshone, Kootenai, and Latah counties, M&S Electric has you covered. Overhead work? M&S can do that too with their bucket truck. M&S Electric, 408 Main Avenue, St. Mary's. Give them a call, 208-245-3890. No job too big, no job too small. We do them all. M&S.
And we're back, ready to start the second half of action. A tough first half for the Lumberjack girls. They trail 34-8 to Central Idaho League opponent, the Orofino Maniacs. See which way they do switch directions. St. Mary's will be going right to left now on your radio dial. And it looks like the Maniacs will start with the first possession of the second half. So to inbound it will be Paul from side court, far side of the floor. No, inbounding it is Waters. Waters triggers it in. And the Maniacs bring it down. Paul has it, top of the key, swings over to the right wing. Now back to the left goes Paul. Paul looking inside to Curtis. Curtis can't get that pass cleanly. 3-point shot from Tondevold. It is short. That shot is missed. Rebound will go out of bounds off of St. Mary's. St. Mary's will inbound from Orofino will inbound from baseline. Looking to the corner. That's Tondevold. Tondevold reverses it up to the top of the key between the circles now. Works it now to the right side of the floor. Going to flip it over to Paul. Paul to Waters. Waters for three, left side. Nothing but net for Waters. Her second three of the night. St. Mary's back the other way. It's Bailey Martin. Bailey going to get a little bit too close to that sideline. Steps out of bounds on the far side. Turnover Lumberjacks. 37-8, St. Mary's trails. Bringing it down is Paul. She has it to the right side, back to the top, swinging it to the left side. Waters again for three. Shot is off the mark. She's going to get her own rebound, and Orofino will reset the offense. They're going to get it up to Tondevold. Tondevold shaded to the left wing, back to the right side to Paul. Looking inside, tipped away, steal by Caldwell. St. Mary's the other way. Timken's going to drive. Left-handed layup won't fall for Timken. Rebound to the Maniacs. Good look for Timken. Bring it back for the Maniacs is Tondevold. Swings it to the right side. That's into the hands of Waters. Timken playing some good defense. She's going to deflect that out of bounds. It'll stay with Orofino, but again, good defense by Camden. Orofino inbound from baseline, 23 on the shot clock. Into the wing, Bearden for three, right side. It's nothing but net for Bearden. 3 3-pointers for Bearden. St. Mary's will bring it the other way, getting it across the timeline to Caldwell. 3-pointer on the way by Williams. Her three won't go. Rebound went to Timken. And we're going to get a whistle and a foul against Orofino. We'll go against Paul. That is her first. St. Mary's inbound baseline. 6:12 to go, third period. 40-8. St. Mary's trails into the corner. Long two on the way. That was by Bailey. No good. Rebound to the Maniacs. Maniacs looking to Curtis. Curtis with the shot. It won't go. St. Mary's does pull in the rebound. Daisy Williams secures it. She's going to drive. Steps around the defense. Up and in off the glass. Nice drive down the lane by Daisy Williams. 40-10. St. Mary's trails by 30. Bringing it down slowly is Paul for Orofino. Crosses the Maniac in the middle of the floor. Gets it to the left side. Now to the top of the key to Waters. Right wing now. 3-point shot by Tondevold. That shot is off the mark. Rebound to Bailey Martin. Bailey ahead to Williams. Williams going to try for the drive. She's going to lay it up. That shot won't go for her. Rebound to the Maniacs. Tried to step away around the defense again. Couldn't quite get that one to go in. Rebound secured by Paul. Paul brings it down the right side. Swings it to the top of the key to Tondevold. Now around to the right side. 3-pointer on the way. No good. Rebound to Orofino. Going to get another 3-pointer by Bearden. It's on the way. Front iron, no good. Rebound to Orofino once again. Spinning jump shot in the lane by Tondevold, and it is up and good. Some backcourt pressure coming from the Maniacs. Skipping it ahead to Elliott. Elliott across the right side. She's going to skip it down the line to Caldwell. Caldwell steps on that out of bounds line. 42-10, St. Mary's trails. 4:45 to go in the third. Waters comes out of the game. I think checking in for her was Olive. Miser checks in. Coming out is Paul. And St. Mary's falls back into what I believe is their 2-1 or 2-3 zone. Bringing it down is Tondevold. She crosses the timeline, swings it to the right side to Olive. Left side to Olive, I should say. Back to Tondevold. Tondevold, the corner three. That shot won't go. Team rebound for St. Mary's. Orofino knocks it out of bounds. Last to touch it. Again, here's that press from the Maniacs. Going to get it up to Caldwell. No, it's going to be taken away. Orofino sets up their offense. Tondevold, left wing. Going to look to the corner. That's Olive. Olive for the long three, and that's up and good. I believe it was a three, yes. Olive's first bucket from the field. St. Mary's has it. Going to get it underneath to Caldwell. Caldwell's shot from the low post is up and good. We're under 4 to play in the third. 45-12, St. Mary's trails. Bringing it across for the Maniacs is Tondevold. Works it right. Down to the wing. Shifted offense to the left side of the floor. Now it's into to Olive. Olive to Bearden. Bearden for three. And definitely a much different Orofino Maniac team shooting from outside. And there's a foul against the Maniacs on the inbound pass and the press. That foul goes against Sadie Olive. That is her fourth. And we get a timeout taken by St. Mary's. It is a 30. Once again, we want to remind everybody, St. Mary's Saw and Cycle having their grand reopening and Supercross party tonight. So be sure to stop by. They start right now, 1 minute you have to get down there. 4 p.m. is when everything starts. Remember, the first 10 people to arrive will receive a free gift. And there will be food, snacks, drinks, games, and prizes. They're giving away a 48-inch KFI plow. I know we haven't really needed a plow much this year, but hey, you never know when you're going to need that thing. And again, they're going to have the Supercross races on, so head on down to St. Mary's Saw and Cycle for their grand reopening as they are under new management. Back here in Orofino, 48-12, St. Mary's trails the for girls basketball. Bringing it down is Daisy Williams. Picks up her dribble, right side, gets it over to Caldwell. Caldwell banks it in off the glass. Long two by Caldwell. Give Williams an assist. 48-14, St. Mary's trails the Maniacs. Olive has it, swings it back to the top to Tondevold. Tondevold to the left side to Bearden. Bearden for three from the wing, no good. Orofino really likes the three-point shots, and they've been on for it tonight. We get a rebound to the Lumberjacks. Caldwell has it. She's going to take it down the right side, driving all the way to the edge of the blocks, kicks it out to Elliott. Elliott, short corner, picks up her dribble. Back out to Boyette, who's into the game. Now to Williams. Not sure who she came in for. Let's take a look. I think Bailey Martin is out. Going to have it back to Caldwell. Now to the corner. Kieran Elliott gets her shot blocked. Orofino with the rebound. That tall Curtis. Hard to get a shot over her. Like I said, she looks to be about 6'3". Orofino has the ball, top of the key. Tondevold picks up, swings it over to Olive. Olive just inside three-point range. Shot is no good. Rebound to Elliott. And Elliott trying to get it ahead to Keneally. Going to the floor is Boyette. Everybody looks to be okay. A foul against the Maniacs. So first foul on Miser in the contest. 2:13 to go. Daisy Williams going to get a breather. Demercia Spooner, glad to see her back in. Got a little banged up in the first period, I think it was. And the ball is to Elliott. Now back to the top to Caldwell. Caldwell works it to the right side, picks up her dribble, tries to get it back out to Elliott. Maniacs with the steal. They bring it down this floor, right side, left side three on the way. That one is left short. Boyette there for the rebound. The turnover, though, and the rebound, or the putback by the Maniacs, and I didn't pay attention to who made that shot for Orofino. I think it might have been Paul. St. Mary's back the other way. A foul against the Maniacs. Elliott trying to find an outlet for the pass. That foul goes against Paul, her second. Olive will check out for Orofino. Didn't see who came in for her. I think it might have been Daniels. Into Keneally. Keneally, the free throw line, kicks it to the top. The elbow shot was up by Caldwell. No good. Rebound to Orofino. 50-14, St. Mary's trails. Bringing it down is Paul. Paul, top of the key, swings it left side. Back to Paul. She's going to rotate to the right, all the way down. Blocks. Shot is up. It won't go. Curtis for the rebound. Put back is good. Curtis's first bucket in the second half. St. Mary's driving left or right side. Caldwell, I don't know if that was a shot or a pass. It's going to be a turnover and a steal for Orofino. 51 seconds on the clock. Bringing it in the fourth. Paul has it. Swings it left side. Bearden. Bearden back to Paul. Paul drives the blocks. Shot is up. That ball's going to rattle around and fall in for Paul. It's a 40-point lead for Orofino. St. Mary's works it around the perimeter. Over to Boyette. Boyette has the ball taken away from her. Turnover on St. Mary's. Bringing it down is Paul. Swings over to Bearden. Bearden cross court to Daniels. Daniels launches the three. That shot is off the mark. Rebound was to Caldwell. Ball is going to be bounced around, deflected by Orofino out of bounds. St. Mary's will re-inbound. Spooner from the base sideline, far side of the floor. And then bring it into Caldwell. Caldwell will bring it up for St. Mary's. They've got 5 seconds. Caldwell works left, picks up her dribble, goes over to Boyette. Boyette catch and shoot from deep off the mark, and that'll be it for the third period. And we'll take a break. 54-14, St. Mary's trails. We'll be back.
For all your plumbing needs, call Nick's Plumbing and Heating. With 6 professional staff, you can be assured of guaranteed quality products, installation, service, and repair of all of your plumbing. So if you have plumbing needs or problems, call the good folks at Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Call 245-5460. That's 245-5460. Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Installation, service, and repair when you need it. Nick's Plumbing and Heating, St. Mary's.
For all of your area high school sports schedules, updates, and recaps, including Lakeside, Kootenai, and of course, St. Mary's High School, pick up your copy of the St. Mary's Gazette Record every Wednesday. Not only will they have game recaps and highlights for area high school sports action, but local news and information. St. Mary's Gazette Record, pick up a copy today.
And we are back. Final period starting. Lumberjacks trail, and I've got a lot of substitutions here for the Lumberjacks. And Lumberjacks turn it over. Orofino will take it the other way. McChaffey has it up to Paul. Paul works right side all the way down to the blocks. Low post. Shot won't fall in for her. And we're going to get a rebound by Harvey and a foul on Orofino. Running clock here in the fourth. St. Mary's is up, trails by 40, I think it is. Third foul on Paul. Bring it down for St. Mary's is Williams. Williams swings it over to Million. Now looking over to the 20 of McManus. I got to get these girls' names down there, mostly from the JV squad. Shot up for McManus, short corner, no good. Rebound to the Maniacs. Bringing it down is Paul for Orofino. She'll bring it across the timeline, working down the right side. Picks up her dribble, swings it over to McCaffey. McCaffey looking, works her way down to the corner left side, now to the low post. Shot is up, no good. Williams with the rebound for St. Mary's. They're going to get it ahead to Letty Smith, and Letty will lay it up for the Lumberjacks. 54-16, St. Mary's trails. Paul brings it up for Orofino once again, working again down that right side, kind of. Going to swing it to the corner to Daniels. Now looking into Curtis. Curtis into the lane. Shot up, no good. Rebound tipped around. Gets her own rebound. Put back is no good. This time the rebound pulled down by Smith. Smith ahead to Million. Million shot up, no good, but she'll be fouled. Daniels picks up her first foul. Annie Million to the free throw line for the Lumberjacks. First free throw on the way. Back iron. That one's no good. Second free throw is up and good. Maniacs have it down the other side, top of the key. McChaffey, low post, shot up from long range, no good. Williams with the rebound. And we got the ball, I think, knocked out of bounds by Orofino. I don't need it. St. Mary's will bring it down. Running clock, under 5 to play. Daisy Williams bring it across. Daisy to Letty. Letty back over to Daisy. Now over to McManus. Back to the top to Daisy. Daisy gets it to Letty. Looking to McManus. Just inside the free throw line. And it's up and good by McManus. Williams with an assist. 54-19 St. Mary's trails. Gonna have a pass left, right wing, back to the top now to Tondevold. Tondevold drives into the lane. Shot is up, won't go. Claire with a rebound. Ball is tied up by the Maniacs, so the possession will stay with Orofino. Orofino will inbound baseline. Daniels will trigger it in. Into Bearden. Bearden to the top to Tondevold. Tondevold back to Bearden. Bearden for three. It's up and good by Bearden. 5 3-pointers for Bearden in the contest. 57-19. Daisy Williams has it for St. Mary's. She's going to swing it over to Smith. Smith back to Williams. Swings it over to McManus. McManus looking. She takes it to the top of the key. Back out to Williams. Williams with a head fake. Back to McManus. McManus for three. It's off the mark. Orofino gets the rebound. Check in for Orofino is Hoyle. Hoyle and Johnson. Getting ready to come in for St. Mary's. Well, not yet. Getting ready to is Elliott. Bearden, three-pointer, right wing. No good. Rebound to Orofino. Another shot by the Maniacs. No good. Another offensive rebound. That one's no good. And a rebound to Harvey. And it'll be a foul on Orofino. Tondevold with foul number 3. Daisy Williams going to come out. Checking in is Elliott. Bringing it down is Elliott. Elliott swings it, looking into Harvey, and I don't think they quite knew where that ball was wanting to go. Turnover St. Mary's, and coming in is Waters for the Maniacs. Bearden checks out. Bringing it down is Waters. She controls it for Orofino. Swings it to the corner to Coomer. Coomer knocks down a 3. Orofino has not had a bad night from three-point range tonight. They've made 11 three-pointers. There's a little short distance jumper by Elliott that won't fall for her. Rebound to Orofino. Tondevold brings it down. She's going to drive from the right side, backs it back out. Now back to Coomer. Coomer working top of the key, swings it back to Tondevold. Tondevold for 3. It won't go. Rebound to McManus. McManus ahead to Million. Million's going to drive. Shot is up and good. Count the bucket and the foul. That foul goes against Johnson. Puts Claire to the free throw line for St. Mary's. Ireland and Paul check in for Orofino. McManus's first or bonus shot is up. It is no good. I think that was Taylin Harvey with the putback. And it's 23-60. St. Mary's trails. Minute 4 to go. That's going to be a bad pass by the Maniacs. They'll turn it over. Give McManus a forced turnover there. Under a minute to go. St. Mary's brings it down. Who is that controlling it? It is Million. Million to Smith. Smith cross court to Elliott. And a jump ball. That'll stay with St. Mary's, but 39 on the shot clock or on the clock. Into Elliott. Elliott. Thought about a shot. Loses the handle for a second. Still has it. Now she's going to get it up to Million. Swings over to Smith. Smith long 2. Just off the mark for Letty. You're going to get a rebound to McManus, a foul on Orofino. Paul's 4th foul. And McManus will go to the free throw line. She might get one of them. Nope, doesn't look like they're going to. Are they going to let her get, or they stop the clock? So that she can shoot her free throws. First, that might be the first varsity free throws for McManus. Missed the first one. Next free throw on the way. That one off the back iron. It's no good. Rebound to the Maniacs, and that'll about do it. There'll be a heave at the buzzer, but that'll be it. St. Mary's falls to Orofino tonight. The girls do 60-23. Don't forget, we got the boys coming up. We're going to take a quick break, and I'm not going to worry about tallying up the stats yet, but we're going to see if we can't find our player of the game, and then we will come back and start our pregame for the boys.
The name says it all. Taco About It. What is it, you may ask? It's the best taco truck in town. Might even be the only taco truck in town. If you like tacos, and who doesn't, then you need to stop by Taco About It, located at 128 South Highway 3 in St. Mary's, across the street from XXX Feeds. Taco About It has too many tacos to list, so you will just have to try them all. Call in your order 208-582-8533, or just stop by. Taco About It, located across the street from XXX Feeds in St. Mary's. When you need that morning pick-me-up before work or school, there's one place that comes to mind. It's a place that loves our community, the St. Mary's Lumberjacks, and all the local businesses and people in our village. Shift and Grind in St. Mary's is all about the community. Whether it's helping raise money for the Booster Club or for a family in need, the Shift and Grind family are always ready to help. So be sure to stop by Shift and Grind for your caffeinated needs. Located at 132 First Street in St. Mary's, Shift and Grind says, go Lumberjacks. If you know which side of a saw cuts wood, and if you can hammer a nail, you can do it yourself. Carpentry, construction, finishing, or framing, around here, you've got it made. You've got 10th Street Lumber. At 10th Street Lumber, we have the answers to your building and repair project questions. Every day, 10th Street Lumber helps homeowners get quality results. For lumber, block, power tools, fixtures, everything you need for a professional job. Don't pick up a nail until you shop 10th Street Lumber. 10th Street Lumber on the corner of 10th and Railroad Avenue in St. Mary's. Wondering how to manage your retirement nest egg? How big should it be when you retire? Contact Jenny Oakes at Gateway Financial Partners to get the answers to these and all your other financial questions. The securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC. With over 30 years of financial planning, give Jenny Oakes a call at Gateway Financial Partners today. The guidance is free. The experience is priceless. Call 245-5255. Fall is coming, and of course, cold weather. Now's the time to stock up on a few things. XXX Feeds has magnetic wood pellets in stock, and it's never too early to be ready for the cold weather. XXX Feeds also has alfalfa in stock as well as straw. And if you have some four-legged woodland friends that look a little hungry, XXX Feeds can keep you loaded up on deer feed and deer blocks. Don't wait until the last minute. Stop by XXX Feeds in St. Mary's today.
And we are back, and we're going to give our player of the game to Braylee Caldwell, sponsored by Taco About It. She had 4 points, a couple of rebounds, and a steal, and had some pretty good hustle out there tonight. So that will be our Taco About It player of the game. The boys are out here warming up now. On the boys, Lumberjacks are on the right side, Orofino on the left side, and they got 18 minutes on that clock. We're going to take a quick break, though, and then we'll come back with the boys pregame.
Nothing comes easy. Every day, every dollar, every decision. So your finances should work just as hard as you do. With a free Ascend checking account from P1FCU, you can earn real rewards for the work you're already doing. No gimmicks, just better banking. Because around here, dividends are for the doers. Learn more at p1fcu.org/ascend.
Kenny and the crew at 10th Street Superstop invite you into the biggest convenience store in town. 10th Street Superstop is your one-stop shop for gas, propane, snacks, and ice-cold drinks. Stop in for breakfast or lunch, breakfast burritos and pizza to paninis and fajita burritos. 10th Street Superstop has something for everyone. Whether you're headed to a Lumberjack game or out into the woods, 10th Street Superstop is the place to stop for anything you may need. 10th Street Superstop on North 10th Street in St. Mary's. When you think of Potlatch Deltic, you might think logs or lumber. When I think about Potlatch Deltic, I think of family, community, compassion. You see, Potlatch Deltic is more than some company in St. Mary's. Potlatch Deltic is a community supporter in more ways than one. Whether it's donating to a fundraiser or nonprofit group, or giving a high schooler a summer job that could very well turn into a career, PotlatchDeltic is there for our community. We, for one, want to thank PotlatchDeltic for what they do and hope that you will also. PotlatchDeltic, proud supporters of, well, St. Mary's.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Idaho. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the IHSAA and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Well, well, well. Are you in need of a reputable, experienced, and knowledgeable well drilling and pump company? Look no further than Interstate Drilling and Pump. Interstate Drilling and Pump drills new wells, deepens existing wells, installs and repairs pumps, and does well testing both for water quality and gallons per minute. Interstate Drilling and Pump has 24-plus years of experience and serves from Moscow to Rathdrum and the Silver Valley. Well, what are you waiting for? Get on their schedule today. That's Interstate Drilling and Pump, 208-245-5101. 208-245-5101, Interstate Drilling and Pump.
Tax time is here again. I know. It's not your favorite. But at H&R Block, tax time is our favorite time of year. It's when our tax pros get to do what they love the most, help people. By getting to know you, they can make sure your return gets done right. It's not just about numbers, boxes, and forms. It's about personal care. So you get every credit and deduction you deserve. And with an average of 10 years experience, our tax pros get your taxes done right. Just one of the many ways Block has your back.
Janelle Martin Holmes. And we are back as Lumberjack boys warming up on the floor to our right. The Orofino Maniacs to the left. We've got Lumberjack boys basketball coming your way right here on 1240 KOFE. Once again, don't forget, Two Saints Brewing has live music tonight. Starts at 7 o'clock. They've got New Crisis and Rachel Broodhead. It is safe, I guess you could say, for all ages. So head on out. They've got, I believe, some new food options with Spicer's moving over there with Two Saints Brewing. So food, music, what more can you ask for? Anyways, let's take a look at the Central Idaho League standings on the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union countdown to tip-off. St. Mary's sitting on top of the standings right now with a 3-0 record in league play, 10-1 overall. They beat the Bonners Ferry Badgers by a score of 79-48 on the 20th, and they will be at Kendrick on the 30th. St. Mary's is first in the Idaho Sports Power Rankings and fourth in the Idaho Sports Power Rankings, first in the Max Preps Rankings. The Orofino Maniacs are 3-1 in league play, 9-2 overall. Lost at Kellogg 53-40 on the 16th. They host Lapway on the 26th. They are 7th in the Idaho Sports Rankings, 3rd in the Max Preps Rankings. If they were to beat St. Mary's tonight, both teams would be 10-2 and 3-1. So it would really tighten up that league standings and everything. The Kellogg Wildcats 1-2 in league, 6-7 overall. They lost at Bonners Ferry 69-54 on the 22nd. They hosted Grangeville today. They are 14th in the Idaho Sports Rankings, 12th in the Max Preps Rankings. So they could have moved up to 2-2 in league play today and 7-7 overall, depending on how their game went. The Priest River Spartans, 1-3 in league, 3-7 overall. They beat, Court of Christ Academy, 65-45 on the 20th. They are at Kellogg on the 29th. They are 18th in the Idaho Sports Rankings, 19th in Max Preps. Grangeville, 1-3 in league, 1-10 overall. Lost to St. Mary's 71-44 on the 17th. Played at Kellogg today. Played at Timberlake last night. I don't know the outcome of either one of those games. They are 22nd in the Idaho Sports Rankings, 23rd in the Max Preps Rankings. We'll take a break, come back with more after this. Your Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's is a proud Lumberjack supporter. because they're her hometown team. When it comes to insurance, that's also one reason so many people in St. Mary's choose Farm Bureau Insurance. They have a complete line of insurance products, including auto, home, commercial, and life. Plus, they have great customer service and competitive rates. And they're also a local company with local agents right here in St. Mary's. So let's hear it for our hometown teams. Contact Janelle Martin Holmes, your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent in St. Mary's at 105 North 8th Street, St. Mary's.
Like most backseat drivers, I'm all about safety. Dad, pothole.
Got it.
So Les Schwab Tires makes my job easy. With services like brakes, steering, and alignment. Those cheap tire centers just throw on tires. That's it. Now, I'm not telling people how to do their job. Linger. I'm just glad Les Schwab takes safety as seriously as me.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab Tires. Doing the right thing since 1952.
It's in Park, right?
Archie's IGA is not only a proud supporter of Lumberjack Sports, but a proud supporter of the St. Mary's community and shopping locally. When you shop local, you help businesses support other local businesses, as well as helping your local businesses to provide jobs. Did you know that local business taxes help maintain communities and counties by fixing roads and maintaining recreational facilities? Local business owners invest in the community and have a vested interest in the future of our community. So won't you help Archie's IGA by supporting your local businesses and shop locally? Oh yeah, and let's not forget those Lumberjacks.
If you want the best, you hire the best. Top Grade Roofing and Construction has over 25 years of experience and is licensed and insured. Top Grade Roofing and Construction can and will build just about anything. Need a deck? They can do it. Need siding? Yep. How about a fence? Of course. I mean, Top Grade Roofing and Construction might even build you a chicken coop if you ask. That's Top Grade Roofing and Construction. Call Vince for a free consultation at 208-269-3111. That's 208-269-3111. Top Grade Roofing and Construction.
And we are back with the Paulette's #1 Federal Credit Union countdown to tip-off as the Lumberjacks and the Maniacs get ready to do battle for Central Idaho League play here in Orofino. Taking a look at some power rankings, coaches polls, and max preps rankings for boys basketball in 3A. And the power rankings for Idaho sports, the top 5 is Wendell, West Jefferson, New Plymouth, St. Mary's, and Ambrose. In the coaches poll, you've got Wendell, St. Mary's, West Jefferson, Orofino, and Ryrie in the top 5. And for the max preps rankings, you've got St. Mary's at #1, Wendell at #2, Orofino at #3, West Jefferson at #4, and Ryrie at #5. That is a quick look at those. We will take another quick break as we've got some stats. And yeah, we'll just take a quick break. We'll be back. It'll be a short one.
Hughes Ace Hardware wants to invite you to come in and take a look. Hughes isn't just about hardware. Whether you need dish soap and sponges to clean up after your husband's guys' night or storage solutions for your wife's shopping addiction, you can find it at Hughes. Come see the difference. Everything you need from a blow dryer to replace the one your toddler dropped in the toilet to a bathroom scale to help your hubby stay on his fitness goal. Hughes Ace Hardware is the place to get the products you need and the help you want all the time, every time. Hugh and Margie Gannon of St. Mary's are proud to support the Lumberjacks and this Lumberjack Sports broadcast. The Gannons want to wish the Lumberjacks the best of luck this sports season and want you to know that they are proud of you. The Gannons say, "Go Lumberjacks!"
You always hear on the radio, cross the bridge to savings. But it's true. St. Mary's Harvest Foods has what you need when you need it. And if you don't see it, then just ask one of the friendly staff and they will gladly help you find what you need. From meat, super fresh produce, and dairy, St. Mary's Harvest Foods will save you big on the things you need the most. No time to cook tonight? Then check out the hot deli for something quick for dinner. St. Mary's Harvest Foods, where you truly can cross the bridge to savings.
Jack Fuel Trucking knows that there are few things as important as wise use of our natural resources. And by utilizing the chips in the manufacturing of lumber, that is exactly what is accomplished. If you look beyond the wood chips, you see an entire community of schools, churches, and businesses. And most importantly, people. Jack Fuel Trucking believes in responsible harvesting of our natural resources. After all, when you take a close look, those aren't just chips. They're an entire community. Jack Fuel Trucking.
Tim Parrish back here at Orofino as the Lumberjack boys get set to do battle with league opponent, the Maniacs, here in Central Idaho League action. Lumberjack boys are on 10-game win streak. They are averaging 72 points per game in their last 8 games and only allowing 47 points per game to their opponents in their last 8 games. Lumberjacks defense and offense has really been shining in the last 8 games they've played. So really solid effort for St. Mary's. In their last game against Bonners Ferry, it was a tie ball game just about. It was 29-26 in favor of St. Mary's at the break at halftime. St. Mary's outscored Bonners Ferry 21-13 in the third and 29-9 in the fourth to beat them 79-48. St. Mary's shot 55% from 2-point range, 33% from 3-point range, and 46% from the field in that game, 67% from the charity stripe. They recorded 32 rebounds, they had just 6 turnovers and 13 points off the bench. 4 Lumberjacks in double digits against Bonners Ferry. Jack Barta and Xavier Sloper both finished with 18. JJ Yearout had 17. Isaiah Gustav with 10. Jackson Harold had 7. Brock Barta with 5. Ribrick with 3. And Micah with 1. He was a varsity JV guy that got to come up and play a little bit of varsity action. Overall on the season, St. Mary's scoring 67 points per game while only giving up 48 points per game. So pretty solid numbers there. JJ Yearout averaging 21 points per game for the Lumberjacks. Coach Chase has 209 wins now and 68 losses as head coach for the Lumberjack boys. St. Mary's, I know this isn't a home game, but an update on the home record. St. Mary's Coach Chase 97-16 at home in his 12 years at the helm. And with that, let's go ahead and switch gears to the Orofino Maniacs, and we'll give you a quick breakdown of them. Of course, they are Central Idaho League in 3A. They are District 2, like we mentioned earlier in the girls game. District 2 for Orofino and Grangeville. St. Mary's, Priest River, and Kellogg are all part of District 1. They are 9-2 in their overall record, 3-1 overall. Their coach is Rocky Barlow in his 5th season. They were the district champs last year, kind of came out of nowhere to win that district championship. But then they went down and went 0-2 at state. They are 5-0 at home on this season. So St. Mary's wants to blemish that record. Orofino wants to keep it going and blemish St. Mary's 10-0 streak for wins. The Maniacs themselves have lost their last 2 games. And so they are looking to get back on the right side as well. Orofino averaging 54 points per game, allowing 43 points per game. They lost to St. Mary's last year twice, 61-42 and 63-52. Some of the players they lost to graduation last year, Aiden Olive and Landon Burnett. But they return a lot of players this year. They got a lot of seniors on their roster, including first-team All-League Nick Bonner and second-team All-League Blake Barlow. Also, they've got Jake Runia, Hudson Schneider, Quentin Naranjo, and Landon Connolly, all back to play this year. So they've got a solid group of seniors on their roster. Kind of notable games this year. They beat Prairie twice. Prairie is 8-3 on the season. And they split with the Kellogg Wildcats this year. For the Lumberjacks and head coach Brian Chase against Orofino, St. Mary's is 25-1. Their lone loss to the Maniacs comes in the 23-24 season right here in Orofino, where the Maniacs went on a tear and defeated St. Mary's 81-69. So we don't want a repeat of that here tonight if you're Lumberjack fans. But it is a league matchup, and you never know what's going to happen in these matchups. We're going to take a break. We'll come back with the starting lineups after this.
Sometimes accidents happen. You never thought it would happen to you, but it did. Where can you turn for that friendly hand of support? Jack's Pharmacy is your good neighbor pharmacy in St. Mary's, where you'll find personalized care. Whether you need crutches, supports, wheelchairs, or even a hospital bed, Jack's is here for you. We service both Medicare and Medicaid. If you need durable medical equipment, come to Jack's, your good neighbor pharmacy, where you'll receive personalized service and attention.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Idaho. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Afraid to touch that breaker box? Need some rewiring done? Call the professionals at M&S Electric. With nearly 40 years experience, there's no job too big or too small. From industrial and commercial to residential and service work, M&S Electric isn't afraid. Serving Benawah, Shoshone, Kootenai, and Latah counties, M&S Electric has you covered. Overhead work? M&S can do that too with their bucket truck. M&S Electric, 408 Main Avenue, St. Mary's. Give them a call, 208-245-3890. No job too big, no job too small. We do them all. M&S Electric.
For all your plumbing needs, call Nick's Plumbing and Heating. With Nick's professional staff, you can be assured of guaranteed quality products, installation, service, and repair of all of your plumbing. So if you have plumbing needs or problems, call the good folks at Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Call 245-5460. That's 245-5460. Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Installation, service, and repair when you need it. Nick's Plumbing and Heating, St. Mary's.
For all of your area high school sports schedules, updates, and recaps, including Lakeside, Kootenai, and of course, St. Mary's High School, pick up your copy of the St. Mary's Gazette Record every Wednesday. Not only will they have game recaps and highlights for area high school sports action, but local news and information. St. Mary's Gazette Record, pick up a copy today.
And we are back, and we'll get ready to get the starting lineups announced for this game. And I actually have my starters wrong, I think. So I got to find out who that other starter is for. I do have it. So they're just going over some of this stuff here. So once again, don't forget that St. Mary's Son Cycle having their grand reopening tonight and Supercross party. They're going to have giveaways and food, and of course Supercross on the projector down at St. Mary's Son Cycle. One of the big prizes they're giving away tonight is a 48-inch KFI plow. Get a chance to come and meet the new owners of St. Mary's Son Cycle tonight. The fun began at 4 o'clock, so they're already getting things going down there. Go check it out tonight. Starters for the Lumberjacks.
His opponent is unfriendly and unacceptable. Please read an example. Those around
Got those taken care of.
We would like to thank Idaho's Dairy Farm.
So they're still going over some stuff here before the game gets rolling. Some talked about sportsmanship and all of that. Now we'll get some starting lineups. They're going to do the national anthem again, it looks like. Huh. Yeah, we are back. Surprised they don't normally do the national anthem twice, but they did here tonight. No problem with that as we get ready to get the starting lineups. And let's wait. They're introducing the Lumberjack coaches.
And now, Lumberjack fans.
Now we'll get you the starters for your St. Mary's Lumberjacks. Our first starter is the 5'8" senior guard, Jack Barta. The 6'2" senior guard, number 4, J.J. Yura. Then we got the 6'2" senior guard, number 5, Isaiah Gustav. Then the 6'7" senior post, number 21, Landon Ribrick. And wrap up the lineup for St. Mary's, 6-foot senior guard, number 32, Xavier Sloper. For the homestanding Maniacs, it'll be the senior, number 0, Jake Runia. It'll be the senior, number 1, Nick Bonner. The senior, number 2, Hudson Schneider. The junior, number 11, Blake Barlow. And the senior, number 34, Quentin Naranjo as the starters for Orofino. Coach Chase and his 5 starters huddled over there on the court, giving a last-minute pep talk and getting his boys fired up for tonight's action. We got Jake Runia coming out. They turn the lights off here in the gym when they do their starting lineup for Orofino. Got some music playing. J.J. Yearout will be at the midcourt circle. St. Mary's in their green and white. They will be going left to right on your radio dial. The Orofino Maniacs in white with blue. They'll be going right to left on your radio dial. J.J. Yearout has only lost one opening tip this season, and that one was to Bonner's Ferry. I'm going to wait and see who whoever it is that's going to be jumping up against J.J. Orofino got their guys out there in the free throw line with a team huddle. And jumping to midcourt will be Nick Bonner for the Orofino Maniacs. Again, St. Mary's going left to right. The Maniacs right to left on your radio dial. Official steps into the midcourt circle. The ball is up. The tip is on the way. St. Mary's controls it. Jack Barta flips it over to Gustav. Out to the wing for 3 from Yearout. Off the mark. Going to get a nice rebound from Ribrick. Ribs putback won't go. We had a rebound to Gustav and a foul against Orofino to get things started. And it'll put Gustav to the free throw line. The foul goes against. Well, now they got a different format on the board for the foul. I guess it goes against, McCorkle is not in. It goes against Runia. That's his first. Isaiah misses the first free throw. Isaiah, 50% on the season from the charity stripe. Second free throw, too much on that one. Rebound to the Maniacs. Naranjo brings it down for Orofino, works it right side. Give and go to Barlow. Yearout's going to deflect it out of bounds. The ball will stay with the Maniacs. Kind of an interesting play there. They bring 2 guys together, and the defense stays on the guy that was coming up to the baseline or the sideline. And then the other guy broke into the lane. Now we get a whistle, a stoppage for a second. Not sure what the stoppage is. They're looking up at the clock. I think they're putting a little bit of time on. Oh, my clock was still running. I didn't realize that. Orofino will inbound, but they will turn the ball over. So turnover on the Maniacs. 7:37 to go. First quarter, St. Mary's brings the ball down. No score on the board. Barta has it. Left side, that's Jack Barta. He's going to set up the offense for the Lumberjacks. Looks to be a bit of his man defense. No, his own defense from Orofino. Gustav to Sloper. Sloper into Year Out. Year Out back to Sloper. Sloper for three. That back iron shot won't go. Rebound to the Maniacs. Orofino has it. That shot is up by Orofino. No good. Sloper with the rebound. St. Mary's will bring it the other way. Gustav has it right side. Out to Year Out. Year Out. Head fake for deep three. Going to get fouled. They're going to say Barlow with a little bit of an arm bar on Year Out. 2 fouls against Orofino early on. JJ will inbound from sideline. Gets it into Barta. Barta in no man's land out near the timeline. And the clock, they got to get the shot clock set back, right? I was talking to Earl. I think he said they put in a new shot clock here, and they're trying to figure out how to get the thing to work right for them. Actually, if that was a foul on Orofino, it should be set at 35, unless I'm not sure. They took a little bit off for the inbound. Over to Barta. Barta works right side to Year Out. Year Out gets an open look. Instead, he's going to go into Ribrick, and Ribrick's going to pump fake and go up and put it in. I'll give Year Out an assist on that. 2-0 St. Mary's leads. Naranjo brings it across the timeline for the Maniacs. He's got Sloper on him. He's going to work to the right side. Hands it off to the 11 of Barlow. Barlow back to the top to Schneider. 3-point shot on the way. It's up and good. That's Jake Runia from the left corner. Orofino with the lead change. 3-2 St. Mary's trails. Barta to Sloper. Sloper right wing over to Year Out. Year Out gonna drive. Kicks it over to the corner. Gustav for three. It's up and good. Isaiah from the right corner. Year Out with the assist. 5-3 St. Mary's leads. Bring it down is Barlow. Barlow out to Runia. Runia kicks it to the top to Bonner. Bonner into the lane. Tries to find, or actually that was Runia looking for Bonner. Turnover Orofino. And Sloper quickly out. He's going to get a breather. Who's checking in? It is Brock Barta. We got the twins on the floor. JJ will bring it down for St. Mary's. Gets it across the timeline. Works it to the left side. He's going to get a screen from Isaiah up to the top. Swings over to Brock, or to Jack. Jack for three, rattles it home from the right wing. Another assist for JJ Year Out. 8-3, St. Mary's ahead. Barlow has it right side, guarded by Year Out. Takes it to the corner, now back in. Kicks into the lane. Shot is up, rattles around, won't fall. Year Out pulls down the rebound. Year Out bringing it across the timeline. He's going to swing it to the corner to Barta. That's Jack. I thought it was for Gustav. Back out and a foul, and the Maniacs quickly with 3 fouls. Quentin Naranjo picks up the 3rd foul for Orofino. Ribrick's going to get a breather. Checking in is Marcus Speakman. Year Out inbound from baseline. Going to go to the top to Brock. Brock to Jack. Jack sets up the offense from between the circles. He's got a defender all the way out on him. That's Barlow. Now back over to Brock. Now to Jack. Again, St. Mary's trying to set their defense up. Over to Gustav. Gustav left wing. Into Year Out. That's going to be tipped up in the air. Stolen away by the Maniacs. 8-3, St. Mary's leads. Runia has it. Top of the key. He's going to swing it out to Barlow. Barlow triggers the 3. It's no good. Rebound to the Maniacs. Putback is up and good by Runia. 8-5, St. Mary's leads. Jack Barta has it. Early first quarter, midway through the first quarter. Jack to JJ. JJ, no look over to Jack in the corner. Back to Year Out. Year Out working left wing. He's going to test the waters to the free throw line. Pull up jumper. It's up and good from the elbow. Free throw line extended. 10-5, St. Mary's leads. Bring it down is Naranjo. Works it down the right side of the floor for Orofino. He's going to kick it to the corner. That's into Runia. Runia swings it left side to Schneider. Schneider for three, back iron. No good. Rebound to Speakman. He gets it out to Year Out. Year Out brings it up the floor. Going to get it over to Gustav, left wing. Gustav to top to Jack. Jack signals his offense now to Brock. Brock right wing. Now to Gustav. Lumberjacks being patient. Barta to Brock. Brock kicks it back out to Jack. Jack for three. Back iron won't fall in for him. Rebound. Fought for. And the Maniacs come up with it. Body's hitting the floor over there on the far side. Bringing it down is Barlow. He'll take it across the timeline right side. He's going to work all the way. Dribbles it off his foot. Turns it over. I'm going to give Barta the steal. Barta to Barta. Brock drives, trying to feed it into Year Out. It'll be deflected out of bounds by Orofino. Xavier Sloper comes back in. Getting a quick breather is Isaiah. St. Mary's inbound baseline, 28 on the shot clock. Into Sloper. Sloper to Jack, or to Brock. Now to JJ. JJ pulls up for the three. Won't go. Rebound Naranjo. And the Maniacs take it the other way. Bonner has it. Swings it out to Naranjo. He'll set up the offense. He's going to look to the right side of the left side of the blocks. Back to Runia. Runia stood up by Jack. Back to the top of the key to Barlow. Barlow drives, kicks it out to Naranjo. Naranjo for three. That one won't fall. Speakman for the rebound. And we're going to get a foul against the Maniacs. That foul goes against Hudson Schneider. 4 fouls against Orofino in the first half, or in the first quarter. Well, they put... No, okay, that is right. And that is the 4th foul. The scoreboard only shows 3 for Orofino, but that is number 4. Gonna have it to Speakman. Speakman tries to feed it into Jackson Harold, and it's a turnover on Orofino, or St. Mary's. I didn't see Harold check in. I got to see who came out. It looks like Brock Barta checked out. St. Mary's deflects that ball out of bounds. It'll stay with Orofino. They'll inbound baseline. Naranjo to triggered in. 10-5, St. Mary's leads. 2:17 to go in the first. Corner to Barlow. Now to the top to Bonner. Bonner to the free throw line. He's going to look for Schneider. Schneider left side. He's going to drive, loses the ball. No, stripped away by Barta. Jack Barta with those quick hands gets in there and strips that out. Landon Ribrick's going to come back in. Marcus Speakman comes out for a breather. I think they pulled out Landon just to maybe give him some quick instruction there on some things that are happening. Pass up the top to Runia. Runia on the right side. He's going to hand it off to Schneider. Working it around the horn. Ball taken away by Harold. And we're going to get a foul by Orofino the other way. And Naranjo quickly picks up his second, and it's the 15th foul. It'll put the Maniacs to the Lumberjacks to the free throw line. Jackson Harold, 75% from the charity stripe on the season. Orofino being aggressive out there. Lots of contact being made, apparently. Free throw on the way. Harold makes that one. Just about trips over the free throw line, though. 11-5, St. Mary's leads. Second free throw up. That one is good as well. 12-5, Lumberjacks up. St. Mary's going to put some pressure in the backcourt. Bringing it down is Barlow. St. Mary's backs out of that press. Going to swing it over to the left side, down to the corner. 3 on the way by Bonner. He gets left open. Shot is no good, though. Rebound goes to Barta. Barta brings it up for the Lumberjacks. Swings it over to Year Out. Year Out left side. Deep 3 from Year Out. Just off the front of the rim. Left it a little bit short. Rebound to the Maniacs. If you leave JJ any kind of room, he's going to take those deep threes, and he'll knock them down most of the time. That almost get a steal by Barta. Orofino has it left wing. Bonner has it. Working against Rib. Then look to the low post. Kicks it back to the top. Barlow for 3. Off the mark. Rebound ends up into the hands of Harold. We get a whistle and a foul. Oh, this foul goes against St. Mary's, actually. So I guess I'll take the defensive rebound away. I think it was Jackson Harold with the foul. Going to get Brock Barta comes in. JJ's going to get his first breather. Looks like Jack also comes out. Isaiah goes in. In under the rim. Shot up and good. I believe that was the 5 of Connolly. 12-7, St. Mary's leads. Brock Barta to Sloper. Sloper left side, back to Brock. Brock over to Harold. And we're going to get fouls on both sides. Isaiah picks up a foul. And I forget who they said it was on Orofino. But anyways, 2 fouls there against St. Mary's. The scoreboard shows 3 fouls for St. Mary's, but I don't think that's accurate. Oh, it's number 5 for Orofino as well. So it was Connolly. St. Mary's has it, looking to rib, short corner, feeding it into Sloper. Sloper bounced around, back out to Harold. Harold out to rib for 3. That's going to be short. JJ tries to get in there and get the rebound, can't pull it in. Orofino takes it the other way. And we're going to get a steal by Brock Barta. Turnover to Orofino. Good steal as the Maniac tried to spin into the lane. 3-point shot on the way by Brock. It won't go. JJ Yearout will get that foul. I didn't see JJ come in. JJ went up over the top of the Maniac there. I'm not sure who he is in for, but we'll put him in for that and give JJ that foul. 17 seconds on the clock. Isaiah is out. Orofino has it. Bonner, left side or right side to the top of the key to Schneider. Schneider working against Brock. They're going to skip it to the corner. Rooney had thought about a 3. Defense closed in. Instead, they get it into Barlow. His shot won't go. Yearout with the rebound. Yearout to rib, but St. Mary's can't get a shot up before the clock expires, and that's how the first quarter comes to an end. 12-7, St. Mary's leads. We'll be back.
The name says it all. Taco About It. What is it, you may ask? It's the best taco truck in town. Might even be the only taco truck in town. If you like tacos, and who doesn't, then you need to stop by Taco About It, located at 128 South Highway 3 in St. Mary's, across the street from XXX Feeds. Taco About It has too many tacos to list, so you will just have to try them all. Call in your order 208-582-8533, or just stop by. Talk About It, located across the street from XXX Feeds in St. Mary's.
And we are back once again. Don't forget about the live music at Two Saints Brewing this evening. They have New Crisis and Rachel Broadhead. It is open to all ages, food and a good time out there on this Saturday night. And at St. Mary's Saw and Cycle, their grand reopening, the Supercross party going on over there. Go meet the new owners and say hi. 12-7, Lumberjacks lead here in Orofino. 8 minutes on the clock for the second period. Orofino will start this second period with the first possession. Looking to cut that Lumberjack lead down just a little bit. There's been 2 lead changes. Orofino has it. Right side of the floor. Bonner now has it. Still on the right side. Into Schneider. Still working that right wing. Back to Barlow. Top of the key. Now they work it to the left side to Naranjo. Naranjo takes it all the way to the right side. Goes all the way around. Pull-up jumper. Misses everything. The rebound goes to Harold. St. Mary's brings it up. Brock Barta controls it. Brock works it across. Left side. Back up to Yearout. Now back to Brock. Brock working in the corner. Back to Yearout. Yearout's going to drive. Pull-up jumper. Just leaves it a little bit short. Yearout needs to be careful on those trying to get that rebound from behind. He almost drew another foul. Orofino pulls down the board. They bring it the other way. Schneider working against Harold. Going to kick it out to Naranjo. Naranjo over to Bonner. Bonner Works inside the three-point line, spins around the defense, shot up, no good. Put back is up and good, and that'll be Connolly. 12-9, St. Mary's leads. 3-point lead for St. Mary's. Year out to the corner to Harold, back up to Year out. Now over to Barta. Barta to Ribrick back out to Barta. Orofino extending their defense out a little bit, look to be in a zone. JJ getting double teamed up top. Flips it out to Harold. Harold over to Brock. Brock, pull up jumper. Shot won't fall for Brock. Rebound to Orofino. Been a little on the bucket for the last couple of possessions for St. Mary's. They need to find a way to get that cork out of the cylinder. Out to the corner. Bonner drives instead. Ball poked away for a minute by Harold. 17 on the shot clock. Driving is Barlow. And he's going to get his shot blocked by Ribrick. Ribrick with the rebound and a whistle. And a foul, I believe, against Orofino. And that'll be the third foul on Naranjo. The senior with 3 quick fouls in the game. He didn't know it was against him. He looked shocked as his coach is subbing him out. I'm going to get a timeout by Coach Chase. I believe it's a quick 30-second timeout. 12-9, St. Mary's leads. 5:58 to go in the half. Again, I didn't see the foul happen, but Naranjo didn't believe it was that he had a foul, but he's going to be out for a minute with 3. He's the only maniac with multiple fouls on him in this one. Runia has 1, Bonner with 1, Barlow has 1, as does Connolly. Coach Chase, I think, wanted to settle his guys down and maybe make a substitution. I'm not for sure on that, but we'll see when they come back out on the floor. Lumberjacks have 5 guys with scoring so far. Orofino only has 2. Connolly and Rooney are the only 2 guys to knock down buckets for the Maniacs so far. Now a quick little meeting at about the timeline for the officials. I'm not exactly sure what they're discussing, but they're going to change the foul now. So Rooney, he does not have that many fouls. They're going to give that foul to Connolly. So a little bit of a adjustment and a positive for the Maniacs on that side of things. St. Mary's will bring it down. Brock Barta back into the game for the Lumberjacks, or Jack Barta, I should say. I don't know if there's any other subs happen. I think there might be. Lumberjacks have the ball. Jack into Sloper. Sloper off the glass. His shot won't go. Rebound to the Maniacs. Again, that lid has been on the bucket for a minute for St. Mary's. Bringing it down for Orofino is Barlow. Works the left side, hands it off to Bonner. Bonner into the lane, ball poked away, call it a turnover. I don't know who poked that away for St. Mary's, but it's a steal by the Lumberjacks. Sloper out to Year out. Year out for the deep 3. That one's off the mark. Ribrick, though, with the rebound. Ribrick has that ball poked out of his hands, though, and a turnover on St. Mary's. Schneider has the ball. Sideline. Up to the top to Runia. Runia gets over to Barlow. Back to the top. Around the horn, right side. Schneider working. Hands off to the corner. Back up top. Runia triggers the 3. Shot won't go. Offensive board for the Maniacs. And I believe a putback and a 3-point play attempt for Orofino. Wait and see who that foul goes against. It might have gone against Isaiah. That is his second foul. Chance to tie the ball game is up and good by Runia. And we have our first tie of the contest. Again, St. Mary's has been empty on their possessions for a minute. Going to get Jack Barta. Thought about a three. Over to Sloper. Sloper out to Rib. Back to Sloper. Now to Jack. Over to Year Out. Year Out. Working. Back over to Sloper. 15 on the shot clock. Flips it over to Barta. Good defense by the Maniacs. They're in a zone. Spinning jump shot by Rib, and it won't fall in. Ball is loose. Orofino pulls in the rebound. The rims have not been kind to the Lumberjacks here in the second quarter. Kick out to Runia. Runia, little head fake. Gets stood up, picks up his dribble. He's going to go up to Naranjo. Naranjo between the circles. 17. Shot three-pointer on the way. No good. Rebound to Sloper. Bringing it down is Barta. Over to Sloper. Sloper back over to Barta. Barta thought about an entry pass to the post. Got a couple of tall guys in there for St. Mary's. Nothing working yet. Year Out to Rib. Rib foul. Count the bucket and the foul. Year Out with the assist. That foul goes against Connolly, and that'll be third foul on Connolly unless they decide to change their mind. Hudson Snyder will check in. Ribrick will get a free throw. Ribrick 57% from the charity stripe. St. Mary's breaks the tie. Free throw, no good by Rib. Rebound to the Maniacs. St. Mary's with a 2-point lead, 14-12. Bringing it down is, I believe it's Barlow. Into the lane, kicks it back out. Schneider has it. Now to the left side to Runia, or right side to Runia. Back out to Schneider. Trying to get it inside, but JJ steals it away. JJ to Barta. Barta's shot is no good, and Barta is fouled. He'll head to the free throw line. A lot of heavy contact coming from Schneider. That is Schneider's second foul. It'll send Barta to the charity stripe. Jack is 76% on the season from the free throw line. First free throw on the way. It is good. Sloper gets a breather. Brock Barta comes in. Jackson Harold looked like he was getting ready to check in. Second. There's a inadvertent horn of some sort, and yeah, they're not going to. I mean, you shouldn't move because of the sound of a horn, but they're going to let that one slide. Marcus fell over the move, jumped into the spot. Second free throw up and good. Oh, Harold is in there. I didn't see who he went in for. It was Ribrick is out. Corner three from Naranjo. It is no good. Ball is out of bounds off of Orofino. Give the Lumberjacks a team rebound. And a timeout taken by Orofino. It looks like it's a full 16-12. St. Mary's leads with 2:51 to go in the second. We'll be back.
When you need that morning pick-me-up before work or school, there's one place that comes to mind. It's a place that loves our community, the St. Mary's Lumberjacks, and all the local businesses and people in our village. Shift and Grind in St. Mary's is all about the community. Whether it's helping raise money for the Booster Club or for a family in need, the Shift and Grind family are always ready to help. So be sure to stop by Shift and Grind for your caffeinated needs. Located at 132 First Street in St. Mary's, Shift and Grind says, go Lumberjacks.
If you know which side of a saw cuts wood, and if you can hammer a nail, you can do it yourself. Carpentry, construction, finishing, or framing, around here, you've got it made. You've got 10th Street Lumber. At 10th Street Lumber, we have the answers to your building and repair project questions. Every day, 10th Street Lumber helps homeowners get quality results. For lumber, block, power tools, fixtures, everything you need for a professional job. Don't pick up a nail until you shop 10th Street Lumber. 10th Street Lumber on the corner of 10th and Railroad Avenue in St. Mary's.
And we are back, and that is a long 1-minute timeout because most of my commercials are not exactly 30 seconds. So I gave them a little bit longer than normal on that one, I think. 2:51 to go in the half. St. Mary's with a small lead, 16-12. There's been 2 lead changes and 1 tie. St. Mary's has the ball. And I think there was no subs made in that break. Well, both Bardas are out there. Okay. JJ Yearout has it, works it right, kicks it to the corner to Brock. Brock for 3, leaves it short. Big rebound for Orofino. Lumberjacks have been shooting a few threes here tonight. They haven't been too successful on most of them. Going to have the ball over to Runia. Toughest games to play, though, are on the enemy's courts, obviously. Going to have Runia driving right side. Big swat by Speakman. Rebound to Brock. Yearout is going to get called for a charge. Orofino sets up in the lane. That's the second foul on JJ. JJ's going to come out just for a bit. Landon Ribrick checks in. Score still 16-12 in favor of St. Mary's. Schneider working it across. And backcourt pressure from Barta. Swinging it over to the right side. Pull-up jumper from Barlow. Leaves it short. Ball tipped around. Rebounded to Barta. Barta to Rib. Rib tried to dunk it. Didn't get the dunk, but Speakman got the rebound, the putback, and the foul. I think Rib didn't realize. I think Rib second guessed whether he wanted to try to dunk that or not, as he didn't realize he was so open, I think. Second foul on Runia. Just kind of threw him off. Marcus Speakman will get the and one. Speakman too much on that free throw. St. Mary's had a little bit of trouble with that. St. Mary's up, though, by 6, 18-12, with 1:43 to go. Barlow to the corner. To Schneider. Schneider back to the top to Runia. Runia with a little pump fake. Back out to Naranjo. Now back to the right side. Three-pointer on the way. Off the mark. Rebound to the Maniacs. They'll reset offensively. Bonner has it. Out to Barlow. Barlow, triple teamed. Now to Naranjo. Back to Schneider. Schneider working right side. Looking back to the wing. Naranjo for the deep 3. It's up and good by Naranjo. Nice touch on that shot by Quentin. 18-15. St. Mary's leads it. Lumberjacks have 1:02 on the clock before the half. Into Speakman. Speakman has the ball stripped out of his hands. A steal by Orofino. Orofino feeds it down inside. Lay it up and under from Barlow. And it is a 18-17 ball game. Orofino, scrappy. Going to get it out to Brock Barta. Now to Harold. Harold back to Brock. 33 on the clock, 18 on the shot clock. Brock Barta works left, right, skips it to Jack. Jack, couple of little head fakes, back to Brock. Now into Rib. Rib's shot is long. Rebound to Orofino. Speakman, some pressure in the backcourt on Bonner. Good defense by Speakman. Now back to Barlow. Barlow going to drive, kicks it out to Naranjo. Naranjo trying to give and go a little bit there, and the turnover to Orofino was not being able to get to it, I believe, was Runia. Ryder Cochran checking in for his first action. St. Mary's has 3.4 on the clock. Landon Ribrick comes out. JJ back in. Oh, Speakman comes out as well. Putting on your three-point shooters for this 3 seconds on the clock, because you want to try to get that last shot there. JJ pull up. It's just off the mark. And the clock will come to second quarter comes to an end. It is halftime. St. Mary's with an 18-17 advantage in a tight ball game here in Orofino. We'll take a break and come back with the halftime numbers.
Wondering how to manage your retirement nest egg? How big should it be when you retire? Contact Jenny Oaks at Gateway Financial Partners to get the answers to these and all your other financial questions. The securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC. With over 30 years of financial planning, give Jenny Oaks a call at Gateway Financial Partners today. The guidance is free. The experience is priceless. Call 245-5255. Fall is coming and, of course, cold weather. Now's the time to stock up on a few things. XXX Feeds has magnetic wood pellets in stock, and it's never too early to be ready for the cold weather. XXX Feeds also has alfalfa in stock as well as straw. And if you have some four-legged woodland friends that look a little hungry, XXX Feeds can keep you loaded up on deer feed and deer blocks. Don't wait until the last minute. Stop by XXX Feeds in St. Mary's today.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
What makes high school sports here in Idaho so special? They do. You do.
We all do.
This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
St. Joe Oil isn't just a fuel delivery company. They provide a much larger service than most people realize. St. Joe Oil can sell you a brand new Toyo oil stove and install it for you, and also keep your oil tank full. Not only that, St. Joe Oil plays a very critical role in our local industries. From logging to farming, St. Joe Oil keeps the fuel tanks full. From heating oil to off-road diesel and everything in between, call St. Joe Oil, 208-245-2123. That's 208-245-2123. St. Joe Oil.
St. Mary's Realty is a St. Mary's icon. Why? Because they are a team. They work for you. And they've been a team for many years. Whether you are buying your first home, looking for a recreational cabin, or selling your current home, St. Mary's Realty puts their team on it for you. So stop in or give them a call today at 245-4502 and let their team be your team. That's St. Mary's Realty at 726 Main Avenue, St. Mary's.
And we're back. It is halftime, a tight ball game here in Orofino. St. Mary's leads 18-17 over the Maniacs. There has been one tie and two lead changes in this contest. St. Mary's is led by about as much as 6 or 7. Orofino keeps battling their way back into it, which I wouldn't expect anything less, to be honest. Taking a look at the first half numbers. Second quarter, St. Mary's was outscored 10-6 to the Maniacs. 2-point field goal percentage, not the greatest for either side. St. Mary's 36%, Orofino 39%. Defenses have been really stingy out there. 3-point percentage, again, neither side lighting it up. St. Mary's 17%, 2 of 12. Orofino 18%, 2 of 11. Overall field goal percentage, St. Mary's shooting 26%, Orofino shooting 29%. The Lumberjacks, they have kind of hurt themselves really from the free throw line, as they are 4 of 8 for 50%. They could have a few more point advantage if they had shot around 60 or 65% like their average is. The Maniacs were 1 for 1 from the charity stripe. Each team has 16 rebounds. St. Mary's with 4 offensive and 12 defensive. Orofino with 3 offensive, 13 defensive. The Maniacs had 10 fouls in that first half. St. Mary's with 5. The Maniacs had 8 turnovers. St. Mary's with 3 points off turnovers. And St. Mary's had 4 turnovers with 2 points off of turnovers for Orofino. Both teams with 4 points apiece off the bench. Individually for the Maniacs, 4 guys scoring. Jake Rooney with 8 points, 4 points for Landon Connolly off the bench, 3 points for Clinton Naranjo, and Blake Barlow with 2. St. Mary's has, I think, 6 guys scoring. Jack Barta leads with 5, 4 points for Ribrick, 3 points for Isaiah Gustoff, 2 points for Year Out, 2 points for Speakman, and 2 points for Harold. On the rebound side of things, we've got leading rebounder is Ribrick with 3 and Speakman with 3. Assists, 4 assists for JJ. JJ also has 1 steal, as does Xavier, Jackson, and both Bardas each have a steal apiece. And that is basically the stats. 1 block shot apiece for Ribrick and Speakman. St. Mary's seems to typically kind of play a little bit better in second halves, especially in the tight ball games. So we'll see what adjustments both teams make. JJ year out usually comes on stronger in the second half as Coach Chase makes adjustments in the locker room. It's going to be a battle to the finish, I think, here tonight. And at the half, St. Mary's leads 18-17 to the over the Orofino Maniacs. We'll take a break. We'll come back with the second half after this.
Riverbend Car Wash and Laundromat, located next to Harvest Foods in St. Mary's. Open 24 hours, we have washers and dryers of all sizes to get your laundry done quickly. If you'd like to get your laundry done in less than 5 minutes, take advantage of our drop-off laundry service where we wash, dry, and fold it for you. While you do your laundry, be sure to take advantage of our touchless automatic car wash, which has that great undercarriage spray to get the grime off. Riverbend Car Wash and Laundromat can be found at riverbendbubbles.com or call 208-582-4844.
Whistle Stop Coffee and More has come a long way from the little shop on Railroad Avenue. How far? Not only did they upgrade their Railroad Avenue location, they added a second location. That second location for Whistle Stop Coffee and More is on 313 St. Joe River Road. Both locations offer tasty drinks of coffee, Red Bull, or Lotus Energy, and food options, from acai bowls to cookies and delicious bagel sandwiches. Whistle Stop Coffee and More is the perfect stop for a quick bite and a drink on your way to work or school. Whistle Stop Coffee and More in St. Mary's. There's a new shop on Main Street in St. Mary's. It's a gift shop. It's a home decor shop. It's a jewelry shop. It's a shop of bare necessities. Bare Necessities Trading Company is located at 822 Main Avenue in St. Mary's and has just about anything you could think of. From rocks and minerals to specialty foods, knives, and handcrafted soaps and lotions, there really is too much to list. So stop by at Bare Necessities Trading Company today and pick up a gift, something new for your house, or a cup of coffee. That's Bare Necessities Trading Company, located at 822 Main Avenue in St. Mary's.
Bundle up for big savings at the Country Fair in St. Mary's. It's the Winter Blowout Sale. Get 50% off winter fashion, select clearance items up to 75% off, and Christmas items marked down 75%. Cold weather styles, hot deals, and limited quantities. So don't wait. Shop local and save big at the Country Fair, Main Street, St. Mary's. When it's gone, it's gone. When you gotta go, make sure you're good to go with St. Joe Potty Huts. From construction sites to community events, weddings to weekend gatherings, St. Joe Potty Huts keeps it clean, convenient, and odor-free. Local, dependable, and fast. Your restroom solution is just a call away at 208-245-4887. For clean units, quick delivery, and service you can count on, choose St. Joe Potty Huts, serving St. Mary's and the St. Joe Valley. Call 208-245-4887 and keep your event running smoothly.
Nothing comes easy. Every day, every dollar, every decision. So your finances should work just as hard as you do. With a free Ascend checking account from P1FCU, you can earn real rewards for the work you're already doing. No gimmicks, just better banking. Because around here, dividends are for the doers. Learn more at p1fcu.org/ascend.
And we are back. Halftime about to come to an end. St. Mary's with a 1-point advantage, 18-17 after a hard-fought first quarter. Our first half, I think St. Mary's led maybe by 6 at one point. Orofino keeps battling right back in it. Like I said, we have 1 tie, 2 lead changes. Be curious to see the second half adjustments. St. Mary's has had a few games like this where they've been close. They had this against Bonner's Ferry where it was close, and then St. Mary's kind of just came on fire in the second half. So we'll see if the Lumberjacks can do that again here tonight. A little bit tougher when it's on the road, though. Teams will switch sides. St. Mary's will go right to left on your radio dial, and it looks like the Lumberjacks will have first possession of the second half. See if they can get things get things going with a bucket here to get things going, because this is, again, St. Mary's had a tough go at it in the second quarter with shooting. Both teams have not shot particularly great. Inbound pass, Year Out will bring it in, bring it across. He's going to get it to Jack Barta. Jack to Isaiah. Now to Year Out. Looking into the post, going to get it to Sloper. Turnaround jumper, shot won't go. Isaiah pulls down the rebound. Going to get a three. That shot won't go. Barta with the missed shot. Isaiah with the rebound. Who made that, Angela? Lumberjacks score first. 2017, St. Mary's leads. Naranjo to Schneider. Schneider guarded by Jack. Back over to Barlow. Barlow hands off to Naranjo, left side. Going to skip it to Schneider. Schneider out to Naranjo. Naranjo, stutter, back out to Schneider. Schneider for three, off the iron, no good. JJ goes up for the big rebound. JJ takes it down the right side of the floor. Going to pull up for the deep three, knocks it down from downtown. 23-17, St. Mary's leads it. You start letting JJ get the feel of things out there, and he's going to make you pay. Barlow drives all the way in, dishes it off, shot up and good. Nice ball movement as they find Nick Bonner for his first bucket of the night. JJ triggers another three. It's off the mark slightly. Rebound to the Maniacs. Orofino brings it the other way. 23-19, St. Mary's leads it. Barlow has it, top of the key, guarded by Year Out. Looks to be a zone defense. Triggering the three as Orofino. Rebound to Ribrick on the miss. St. Mary's will bring it the other way. Barta brings it down slowly. He sets up the offense, works it to the left side, picks up a couple of defenders, looking into the paint to Ribrick. Ribrick is going to get called for the travel. A little bit of a stutter step there by Rib inside. I think Rib was trying to come to a decision of what he wanted to do and forgot to start dribbling. Maniacs will bring it back down. Out to Runia. Runia to Barlow. Barlow out to Naranjo. Top to Schneider. Schneider looks to drive, kicks the ball back out to Naranjo. Now back out to Runia, working from the right side, top of the key. Going to have that ball poked away for a second by Barta. Schneider regathers. Drives, moves around, shots up and in for Schneider. His first bucket of the second half of the game. 23-21, St. Mary's leads. JJ drives. Lots of contact, not going to get any kind of a whistle. The rebound goes to Orofino. That was a lot of contact on JJ, it looked like, from my position. Deep three on the way. It's up and good by Runia. And I think we have our third lead change. 24-23, Orofino leads. Orofino's led by, I think, 2 at one point. Isaiah to Jack. Jack drives. A bad pass by Jack, but luckily it was deflected out of bounds by Orofino. He was trying to, I think, get that to Year Out in the corner. Then look inside to Sloper. Sloper puts it up and in. JJ with the rebound, or the assist. Secondly, another lead change, 25-24. Barlow has it, left side, picks up the dribble, looks for an outlet, gets it to Runia. Runia into the paint, picks up his dribble, back out, left side. Going to get the three-pointer on the way. Back iron, no good. Sloper with the rebound. Sloper ahead, going to look into Ribrick. Ribrick off the glass, left it short. Rib's got to make those. Rebound to Orofino. He's also got to shake that off, though. Can't lose confidence over a couple of misses. Got 3 subs getting ready to come in for St. Mary's. Naranjo has it up top. Now over to Bonner. Back to Naranjo. Orofino working left corner. Three-pointer on the way. No good. Orofino pulls down the rebound, though. They'll reset their offense. Back out to Naranjo. Now back to that left corner to Runia. Schneider, right side. Three-pointer. That one's up and good by Schneider. Coach Chase wants a timeout. As the Maniacs have reclaimed the lead, 27-25. And it is a full timeout. We'll be back.
He and the crew at 10th Street Superstop invite you into the biggest convenience store in town. 10th Street Superstop is your one-stop shop for gas, propane, snacks, and ice-cold drinks. Stop in for breakfast or lunch, breakfast burritos and pizza to paninis and fajita burritos. 10th Street Superstop has something for everyone. Whether you're headed to a Lumberjack game or out into the woods, 10th Street Superstop is the place to stop for anything you may need. 10th Street Superstop on North 10th Street in St. Mary's. When you think of Potlatch-Deltic, you might think logs or lumber. When I think about Potlatch-Deltic, I think of family, community, compassion. You see, Potlatch-Deltic is more than some company in St. Mary's. Potlatch-Deltic is a community supporter in more ways than one. Whether it's donating to a fundraiser or nonprofit group, or giving a high schooler a summer job that could very well turn into a career, Potlatch-Deltic is there for our community. We, for one, want to thank Potlatch-Deltic for what they do and hope that you will also. Potlatch-Deltic, proud supporters of, well, St. Mary's.
And we are back. Coach Chase making some substitutions there, getting on the guys a little bit. Jackson Harold, Brock Barta, and Marcus Speakman in. Bring it down for the Lumberjacks is Jack Barta. St. Mary's trails 27-25. Brock to Jack. Jack top of the key. Over to Harold. Harold back to Jack. Around the horn left side. Trying to get it into Year Out. Good defense on Year Out. Going to have Speakman with a shot. Won't go. Tries to chase down his rebound. Goes out of bounds off of St. Mary's. It'll be Orofino ball. Orofino bringing it down right side or left side. Bonner. A little bit of pressure in the backcourt. Back to Bonner. Still on the back side of the floor. They get it across. Naranjo catch and shoot three. It is off the mark. JJ Year Out with the rebound. JJ will bring it down himself. He's going to work left side. Three-pointer on the way. It's in and out. Rebound to the Maniacs. Bring it back for Orofino is Barlow. Barlow works it to the right side of the floor. 3 minutes to go, third period. Barlow hands it off to Naranjo. Naranjo picks up his dribble, skipping it into Barlow. Barlow gets underneath. His shot won't go. Rebound to Year Out. Probably could have given that rebound to Speakman, honestly, but Brock Barta has it. Swings it back over to Jack. Jack back to Brock. Back to Jack. Lumberjacks filling out the defense again for Orofino. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Jack Barta, a couple of pump fakes. Flips it to Brock, who was underneath open. Going to get it out to JJ. JJ a head fake. He comes baseline. Tries to work around the defense. Thought he got fouled. Didn't get the call. Rebound goes to Orofino. Coming back the other way is the Maniacs. Schneider triggers the deep three. Shot is no good. Rebound to Year Out. Year Out ahead to Jackson. Jackson spins. Shot, no good. Foul by the Maniacs. Send Harold to the free throw line. The foul goes against number 2. That's Hudson. That's his third. Harold 2 for 2 tonight from the free throw line, I believe. Leaves the first one short. Free throw, St. Mary's has struggled a little bit there tonight. Jack Barta gets a breather, as does Year Out. Second free throw on the way. That one is good by Harold. 26-27, Lumberjacks trail by 1. Orofino brings it down. Barlow brings it down the right side. Going to hand it off to Bonner. Now to Naranjo, back to the top to Barlow. Barlow back to Naranjo, still left side, brings it to the right side now. Working the perimeter. Harold pokes it away for a second, playing some good defense on Naranjo. Back out to Barlow, 13 on the shot clock. Runia drives it in, dishes off to Bonner. Ball gets knocked loose. It'll stay with Orofino. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Lumberjacks can maybe force the quick shot or force the shot clock violation. Just got to play good defense, no fouls. Into the wing. Three-pointer on the way, knocking it down from up top is Bonner, and Maniacs are finding their stride in the second half. They take a 4-point lead. St. Mary's with a shot, won't go. I didn't see who took the initial shot, but Harold gets the putback. St. Mary's trails by 2, 30-28. Barlow brings it down, swings it out to Runia. Runia drives, kicks it, thought about kicking it. Now it's to Bonner. Shot bounces around and it falls in for Bonner. Under a minute to go. Three-pointer from Ribrick on the way. Leaves that short. Got his own rebound. He's going to go up. Shot won't go. Going to get a three-pointer on the way by Sloper. Offensive rebound for St. Mary's. Sloper with the three. And then we get a foul, I think, against St. Mary's here on the other end. Xavier picks up a foul. Speakman, Harold, and Brock come out. You're out in. There we go. Got my starters or my lineup fixed. Runia, top of the key. Swings over to the left side. Back over to Naranjo. He brings it up to the top of the key. Maniacs playing for the final shot of the third quarter. Runia drives, hands it off. Shot is up and good on a little flip to Barlow. Good ball movement again by the Maniacs. St. Mary's trails, going to get a three-point shot up. I don't think they're going to say that that was on time. And we're going to start the fourth with St. Mary's trailing by 3. We'll be back.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Idaho. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the IHSAA and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Well, well, well. Are you in need of a reputable, experienced, and knowledgeable well drilling and pump company? Look no further than Interstate Drilling and Pump. Interstate Drilling and Pump drills new wells, deepens existing wells, installs and repairs pumps, and does well testing both for water quality and gallons per minute. Interstate Drilling and Pump has 24-plus years of experience and serves from Moscow to Rathdrum and the Silver Valley. Well, what are you waiting for? Get on their schedule today. That's Interstate Drilling and Pump, 208-245-5101. 208-245-5101, Interstate Drilling and Pump.
And we are back. Defensive ball game here tonight, 34-31. Orofino with the lead. We've had 5 lead changes, 1 tie. Orofino finding their groove in that third quarter. Let's see if St. Mary's can do something to take that momentum away from the Maniacs. Looks like St. Mary's will start with the first possession here of the third. Jackson Harold is in place of Xavier. Jack Barta has it. He's going to work his way to the right side. Back up to Harold. Harold to Year out into Gustav. Gustav, bad pass by Isaiah. Trying to find the post. Ribrick and the Maniacs jump the pass in the lane. Orofino looks to try to extend their lead back out. They've got a 3-point advantage right now. So I think that's the largest lead Orofino's had all night. Into the corner, bad pass by the Maniacs, back the other way. They'll turn it over to the Lumberjacks. Year out gets it in. Barta brings it down, signals the offense for the Lumberjacks. Works it to the left side. He's going to pick up his dribble, goes to Year out. Year out, going to drive in. Jump shot, up and good. Drives up to the blocks on the left side. Pull-up jumper, 34-33. I think I'm kind of expecting to see JJ try to take this game over here in the third. You're out with 9, or in the 4th, I should say. Naranjo has it up to Barlow. And they're going to get travel on Orofino up top. So a couple of kind of unforced turnovers there on the Maniacs. Lumberjacks again sets up their offense. Jack Barta works it left. He's going to pick up his dribble, gets it to Year Out, top of the key. He's going to pull up to the 3, knock it down, and the foul. What a shot by Year Out. I didn't think that was going to be good because he didn't have very much arc on it, but that thing goes in, and he's got a chance for the 4-point play. Barlow with his second foul. Lead change as St. Mary's takes the lead. Substitution coming in is coming out was Connolly. Let's see who checked in. I think it might have been Runia. Year Out. The setup for the free throw. Shot up, rolls around, falls through. 37-34. St. Mary's back out on top to the 3-point lead. Runia has it. Back out to Schneider. Schneider working right side, takes it left. Gonna hand it off. Barta ends up on the ground, has to wait for his teammate to hop over him before he gets up. Drive spinning by Snyder. Shot won't fall. Rebound tipped around. Year Out ends up with it. Year Out's going to run the floor quickly. Picks up his dribble at the free throw line. Backs it back out to Jack on the right. Now they're looking to Gustav. Low post. Gustav's shot won't fall in for him. Rebound to the Maniacs. Orofino brings it the other way. Schneider working right side. Hands it off to Barlow. Barlow to the free throw line. Back out to Runia. Runia back to Naranjo. Left side of the floor now. Going to get deflection by Year Out. And actually, it's going to be a turnover on Orofino. Orofino touched it last. Going to give JJ the forced turnover there. St. Mary's with a 3-point lead, 37-34. 5:47 and counting in the 4th. Jack Barta has it over to Year Out. Year Out left side, back to Barta. Barta going to drive, kicks it to Rib, and Rib just can't find a bucket tonight. Ribrick having a rough evening. Runia backs it back out, swings it around to Naranjo, left side to right side. Barlow up to the free throw line, now back to Runia. Runia looking, he's trapped. Good defense by St. Mary's. Back out to Snyder. Snyder tries to penetrate, flips it to Naranjo. Naranjo working right side, 11 on the shot clock. Naranjo to the top. Now we're down to 7. Naranjo pull-up jumper, leaves it short. Going to be saved back in by Orofino. Nice job by the Maniacs. 3-point shot on the way. It's good. And that is Barlow who knocks down the 3. Second chance opportunities. Tie ball game, 37 all. Jack to Year Out. Year Out back to Jack, over to the corner. Looking in, Rib gets left alone, puts it up and good. Harold with the assist. 39-37. Lumberjacks need to be able to work Rib inside. He's got a size advantage. Naranjo bringing it back down. Naranjo working right. Harold swatting at that ball. Can't get it away. Back to Barlow. Barlow drives the lane. Can't get clear to pull up for the jumper. Back out. 3-pointer on the way by Barlow. And Barlow knocks down another 3. And Orofino, I think, retook the lead with that one. And it's 39-40. Year Out. Pulls up for the jumper from about the free throw line. Crowd looking for a push-off on Year Out. It might have been there. St. Mary's might have gotten away with that one. St. Mary's reclaims the lead. 40. Oh, that was a 3 by Year Out. We're going to get a foul against the Lumberjacks. I think it was Harold. Gustav comes out. Ribrick comes out. Speakman goes in. Sloper comes in. And we get a timeout taken. 42-40. St. Mary's leads. It's Orofino taking the full timeout. We'll be back.
Tax time is here again. I know. It's not your favorite. But at H&R Block, tax time is our favorite time of year. It's when our tax pros get to do what they love the most, help people. By getting to know you, they can make sure your return gets done right. It's not just about numbers, boxes, and forms. It's about personal care. So you get every credit and deduction you deserve. And with an average of 10 years experience, our tax pros get your taxes done right. Just one of the many ways Block has your back.
Janelle Martin Holmes, your Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's, is a proud Lumberjack supporter because they're her hometown team. When it comes to insurance, that's also one reason so many people in St. Mary's choose Farm Bureau Insurance. They have a complete line of insurance products, including auto, home, commercial, and life. Plus, they have great customer service and competitive rates. And they're also a local company with local agents right here in St. Mary's. So let's hear it for our hometown teams. Contact Janelle Martin Holmes, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's at 105 North 8th Street, St. Mary's.
And they must have given JJ just a 2 on that last one. So they got the start 40-41. St. Mary's leads. Maniacs with the ball. Barlow kicks it out to Bonner. Bonner for 3. And Bonner knocks the 3 down. Orofino getting warmed up from outside. 43-41. St. Mary's trails now. Jack Barta to Year Out. Back to Jack. Corner to Harold. Back over to Jack. Jack to Jackson. Year Out. Catch and shoot 3. It's off the mark. Rebound to Barta. Year Out, spins into the lane. Shot is up, won't go. Fight for the loose ball. St. Mary's ends up with it again. Another shot, no good, but Year Out with the putback, and it's good. I think the shot was by Speakman that missed. Third tie, 43 all, under 3 to play. Barlow, pull-up jumper, short corner, no good, but a foul. They're going to call it on St. Mary's. Marcus will pick up that one. And that'll send Barlow to the free throw line. Orofino's only been to Cherry Stripe once tonight. First free throw is up and good by Barlow. Orofino's perfect from the free throw line. Second free throw on the way. Both are good. Orofino retakes the lead, 45-43. St. Mary's has it. Year Out to Barta. Barta to Gustav in the corner. Back over to Jack. Jack back to Isaiah. Isaiah back to Jack. Over to Year Out. Year Out, little pump fake. Drives, flips it to Sloper. Shot is up and good by Xavier. 45 all, tied up once again. 2:20 to play. Runia to Naranjo. Naranjo hands off to Snyder, working left side, back to Runia. A little bit of maybe almost a travel there. Going to get a pull-up jumper from Naranjo, won't go. Rebound to Year Out. Year Out brings it down the floor. 1:55 to go in the game. 45 all, back to Year Out. Year Out over to Barta. Back to Gustav. Gustav drives, flips it into Rib. Rib up and good. Gustav with the assist. St. Mary's reclaims the lead, 47-45. Rooney is going to drive, kicks it out, now to the wing, three-pointer on the way. Up and good to Barlow. Orofino has found the range from outside. They retake the lead. Barta to Year Out. I've run out of spots on my lead change thing. We're going to get an offensive foul against Xavier. X is going to come out, his second foul. Orofino's up by 1, 48-47. St. Mary's a little bit of a man press now. Orofino trying to break that press. And we're going to get a timeout taken by Orofino. So they don't have the backcourt violations. It was not quite close yet, but still. Lumberjack defense was doing a good job in the backcourt. And it's just a quick 30. St. Mary's needs to get a stop. Time is starting to wind down here. 48-47. St. Mary's trails by 1. Lumberjacks don't want to give up anything here. Orofino has made 7-8 3-pointers, 6 of them in the second half. Three by Runia. Barlow has 3. It's a very interesting Orofino team, to be completely honest with you, because they've played some games where you go, man, they're really, really good. Then they've played some games where they don't look nearly as good. And you just have been getting some inconsistent vibes out of the Maniacs, to be honest with you. But this is their home court. It is also St. Mary's, so it's always a dogfight when you got your Central Idaho League opponents. Orofino will stack up on this near side of the floor in front of the Lumberjack bench. Inbound. They've got 26 on the shot clock. Under a minute to go. Going to drive is Snyder. Snyder puts it up and good. It's a 3-point lead for the Maniacs with under a minute to go. St. Mary's. Gustav from the corner. It won't fall. Rebound to the Maniacs. That's going to be tough for St. Mary's now. Lumberjacks putting that pressure in the backcourt. Maniacs get it across. There's going to be JJ picking up a foul. The tough thing for St. Mary's, that resets the shot clock. Gives St. Mary's 4 fouls, I think. Yes. Coach Chase wants a full timeout. 50-47. St. Mary's trails by 3. They need to get a stop here in the 3-point bucket. We'll be back.
Like most backseat drivers, I'm all about safety. Dad, pothole.
Got it.
So Les Schwab Tires makes my job easy. With surfaces like brakes, steering, and alignment. Those cheap tire centers just throw on tires, and that's it. Now, I'm not telling people how to do their job. Linger. I'm just glad Les Schwab takes safety as seriously as me.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab Tires. Doing the right thing since 1952.
It's in Park, right?
Archie's IJ.
And we are back, and St. Mary's in a tough spot right now. 32 seconds on the clock. Shot clock, I think, is actually off. St. Mary's really should. They've got a couple of options here. They need to get a steal. And I think they'd rather the steal than the foul, because the foul puts Orofino to the free throw line with a chance to extend it to 2 possessions. St. Mary's ideally needs a turnover. It's been a heck of a ball game between these two teams. Coach Chase getting his guys out. St. Mary's trying not to foul yet, I think. And now we are going to get that foul. The foul goes against Isaiah. And it'll put Barlow to the free throw line, who is 2 for 2. So that's going to, now it's late in the game, so pressure's on him, but he's been pretty good from the charity stripe. And he knocks down the first. That's going to make things tough for St. Mary's with not much time on the clock. Orofino's going to take a timeout. It's a 30. Tough spot for St. Mary's to be in, but I think we're going to see the 10-game win streak possibly come to an end, barring a miracle. Not really a miracle, but just something big's got to happen for St. Mary's here. They can miss if they miss this free throw, but St. Mary still needs to get a shot in and then another quick foul. So Orofino looking to even up the league standings and the overall standings against St. Mary's, or against in overall. Barlow to the free throw line to shoot the second one after the timeout by the Maniacs. Second free throw up. That one is no good. Rebound to Rib. Lumberjacks need a quick three. JJ slowing things down a little bit. St. Mary's can't slow down much. Sloper for three won't go in. Going to get a rebound. Shot from three-point range, no good. Rebound to Maniacs, and now we get a foul on JJ. The way the crowd reacts, I don't know if that was a little bit of a hard foul on JJ's side or not, but really no need for that foul at the point. There's 1.2 on the clock. Hard-fought battle here tonight, but that third quarter hurt the Lumberjacks. They could not find the bottom of the net very much in that third quarter. Orofino played some stiff defense as well on the Lumberjacks tonight. Hudson Snyder to the free throw line, knocks down the first. (52-47). Orofino leads. St. Mary's going to go to 3-1 in league play. Orofino to I think 4-1 actually. And Coach Chase takes a timeout. I think that's what the record will be for St. Mary's league play. So Orofino should move to the top again in league standings. It's going to make it interesting. I don't know if Orofino has, well, no, they got to come and play St. Mary's still. So never mind. I'm getting ahead of myself as far as like district tournament play. 1.2 on the clock. St. Mary's isn't going to be able to do much with that. I know Coach Chase is not exactly sure. 1.2. That's about time for one play for the Lumberjacks. I'm trying to find somebody to get this ball to. Oh. Barta tries to heave down the court. The Maniacs will intercept it, and that'll be the ball game. Lumberjacks will go to 10-2 on the season, or with a 3-1 record. And Orofino goes to, I think, 4-1 in league record. So they'll reestablish themselves at the top of the CIL. And now we got to wait for the Maniacs to come to St. Mary's. So Lumberjacks going to have to get the job done in the rest of their league games here. The toughest couple of them coming up will be, again, it'll be Orofino at home and Kellogg in Kellogg. We're going to take a break. We'll come back and take a look at the stats and pick our Taco Bat player of the game.
Not only a proud supporter of Lumberjack Sports, but a proud supporter of the St. Mary's community and shopping locally. When you shop local, you help businesses support other local businesses, as well as helping your local businesses to provide jobs. Did you know that local business taxes help maintain communities and counties by fixing roads and maintaining recreational facilities? Local business owners invest in the community and have a vested interest in the future of our community. So won't you help Archie's IGA by supporting your local businesses and shop locally? Oh yeah, and let's not forget those Lumberjacks.
If you want the best, you hire the best. Top Grade Roofing and Construction has over 25 years of experience and is licensed and insured. Top Grade Roofing and Construction can and will build just about anything. Need a deck? They can do it. Need siding? Yep. How about a fence? Of course. I mean, Top Grade Roofing and Construction might even build you a chicken coop if you ask. That's Top Grade Roofing and Construction. Call Vince for a free consultation at 208-269-3111. That's 208-269-3111. Top Grade Roofing and Construction. Hughes Ace Hardware wants to invite you to come in and take a look. Hughes isn't just about hardware. Whether you need dish soap and sponges to clean up after your husband's guys' night or storage solutions for your wife's shopping addiction, You can find it at Hughes. Come see the difference. Everything you need, from a blow dryer to replace the one your toddler dropped in the toilet, to a bathroom scale to help your hubby stay on his fitness goal. Hughes Ace Hardware is the place to get the products you need and the help you want all the time, every time. Hugh and Margie Gannon of St. Mary's are proud to support the Lumberjacks and this Lumberjack Sports broadcast. The Gannons want to wish the Lumberjacks the best of luck this sports season and want you to know that they are proud of you. The Gannons say, "Go Lumberjacks!"
You always hear on the radio, cross the bridge to savings, but it's true. St. Mary's Harvest Foods has what you need when you need it. And if you don't see it, then just ask one of the friendly staff and they will gladly help you find what you need. From meat, super fresh produce, and dairy, St. Mary's Harvest Foods will save you big on the things you need the most. No time to cook tonight? Then check out the hot deli for something to cook for dinner. St. Mary's Harvest Foods, where you truly can cross the bridge to savings.
Jack Fuel Trucking knows that there are few things as important as wise use of our natural resources. And by utilizing the chips in the manufacturing of lumber, that is exactly what is accomplished. If you look beyond the wood chips, you see an entire community of schools, churches, and businesses, and most importantly, people. Jack Fuel Trucking believes in responsible harvesting of our natural resources. After all, when you take a close look, those aren't just chips, they're an entire community. Jack Fuel Trucking.
Sometimes accidents happen. You never thought it would happen to you, but it did. Where can you turn for that friendly hand of support? Jack's Pharmacy is your good neighbor pharmacy in St. Mary's, where you'll find personalized care. Whether you need crutches, supports, wheelchairs, or even a hospital bed, Jack's is here for you. We service both Medicare and Medicaid. If you need durable medical equipment, come to Jack's, your good neighbor pharmacy, where you'll receive personalized service and attention.
And we are back. St. Mary's comes into Orofino, and Orofino takes care of business with a very good defense tonight and some pretty good outside shooting as well against St. Mary's. As we'll get to that in just a second. I want to look at that actually. Wow. I would say decent. They came alive from three-point range in that second half. So that was really a big difference, was the three-point shooting and the free throw shooting from Orofino. St. Mary's won the turnover battle, won the rebound battle, but they didn't score a lot of points off those turnovers. They only had 8 points off of Orofino turnovers, and I don't think St. Mary's had a lot of second chance putbacks that counted for them in that game. So those were two categories that hurt St. Mary's. Outside shooting kind of hurt St. Mary's, as they only shot 22% from outside. Orofino was 38%. This game seen, let me count that. There's a lot of lead changes. 10 lead changes and 4 ties. And it was definitely a defensive ball game that Orofino got the best of St. Mary's in tonight. Let's see here. Finish was 53-47 in favor of Orofino. Some good defense helped the Maniacs keep St. Mary's from getting a bunch of good looks in the second quarter. St. Mary's, I think, took a lot of shots in the second quarter, and they didn't get a whole lot of them to fall in for them. So that was another part of the game here for St. Mary's. St. Mary's ended up shooting 41% from two-point range, while Orofino was 46%. Three-point range, 22% for St. Mary's, 38% for the Maniacs. Orofino made 7 three-pointers in the second half. They went 9 of 24, and that really helped get them ahead of St. Mary's. The other side of the regular field goal percentage, 41% for Orofino, 33% for St. Mary's. 56% from the charity stripe and 86% for the Maniacs. That's another tell of the differences. Free throws, St. Mary's 6 of 11 from the charity stripe, while Orofino was 6 of 7. And again, that free throw monster kind of bearing its head and kind of also showing that part hurt the Lumberjacks as well. Rebounding, St. Mary's out-rebounded the Maniacs 36-28, and St. Mary's turned the ball over a few less times, 6-11. So that was just a little bit of those numbers here and there, and I don't want to take any credit away from the Maniacs. They played well, but St. Mary's let things slip in the free throw range shooting, and a few other spots as well that didn't help their cause tonight. Oops, I forgot to check out these. Okay, individual scoring for Orofino. They ended up with two guys with double digits. Blake Barlow had 16. He knocked down 3 3-pointers in the second half. Jake Rudia had 14. He knocked down 3 3-pointers in the second half. 7 points for Nick Bonner, 9 points for Hudson Schneider, 4 points for Connolly, and 3 points for Quentin Naranjo. This loss for the Lumberjacks makes it more important than ever that St. Mary's bounces back with a win at home against Orofino late in the season, and that they take care of business at Kellogg here in a week or so. Individually for St. Mary's, J.J. Yearout finished with 17 points. He had 9 rebounds, 6 assists, and 1 steal tonight. 8 points for Trenton Ribrick, who really had a rough night. He had a lot of opportunities that could have helped St. Mary's out that he missed on. Xavier Sloper with 7 points, 5 for Barta, Jack Barta, 5 for Harold, 3 for Gustav, and 2 for Speakman. And I'm going to go ahead and give our Talk About It player of the game tonight. We'll give it to J.J. Yearout. He, again, held the 2 points in the first half, finishes with 17, and almost a triple-double once again. So that's going to do it for us here from Orofino. We hope that you have a great weekend. Don't forget about the live music at the Two Saints Brewing tonight. Starts at 7 o'clock. And St. Mary's Sun Cycle, I'm sure their grand reopening is still going on, so stop by there as well.
You've been listening to another production of Lumberjack Sports on KOFE 1240 St. Mary's, your Lumberjack Sports Network. We thank you for tuning in and hope you enjoyed the broadcast. We also want to thank our Lumberjack Sports broadcast sponsors and hope you'll do the same. Without them, these broadcasts wouldn't be possible. Until next time, same as always, go Lumberjacks!
you.